What's going on, Drinking Buddies? Brand new podcast coming right at you, but you know what we got to do first. We got to talk about those things that generate a little revenue for the show, bring in a little bit of that money. First and foremost, we're brought to you by the Patreon at patreon.com/MattSlayer. Did you know you can support this show for as little as $3? For $3 whole, you can support this show. For a little bit more, for just a little bit more, you can get the audio ad free, you can get the video versions a week early, you get the video versions uncensored, you get bonus content. So, what are you waiting for? Go to patreon.com/MattSlayer today and support the show. We are also brought to you by the merch store at anwd.net/merch. Some rad shirts on the merch store, some rad hats. All the merchandise obviously supports the channel. So go to anwd.net/merch. Pick yourself up a shirt or a hat. Tell the world you're a drinking buddy. The last way you can support the show, the absolutely easiest way you can support the show, is Signal Boost. Tell your friends. Let people know about the show. And also, if for whatever reason you haven't done it, go to youtube.com/nowwedrink and subscribe. See the video version, see the shorts, see the clips. Feed the algorithm. We enjoy feeding the algorithm around here. But anyways, let's get on with this. My guest this week is adult performer Lucky Fate. Lucky and I have known each other in passing for a couple of years, and it's good to actually sit down with him and get to know the man. We talk about his adventures going from the cannabis industry into the adult entertainment, and just a lot of really silliness. It was a lot of fun. So sit back, relax, pop a cold one, and enjoy, Drinking Buddies. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
Well, that's some of the best stuff to watch. There's so many new podcasts I've been seeing on TikTok and stuff like that are literally just two friends talking, and it's the greatest content, It
can be.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be terrible, but have you seen Basement Yard? You ever watch those guys? Oh, they're two dudes from New York, and they're super funny. They're just best friends that are two Italian best friends from New York, and they just have this show together, and it's really funny.
So in the first 30 seconds of the show, we're like, go tune into something else that's funnier than this, please.
No, I don't think it's funnier than this, but it's still pretty funny. Definitely doesn't have porn people on it, so.
Yet.
Yes.
Every civilian with a podcast is like, wait a minute, I can get porn stars to come hang out with me?
Boobs? Wait, boobs? Boobs. On the podcast? Let's do it.
Right.
Yeah. It'll sell, right?
No. Probably not. Probably not. And every time boobs come out, I'm like, please, it's cool for a moment, but please put them away eventually, because this is all post-work I got to do.
Yeah.
Bad Kitty, the last 40 minutes of her episode, her tits are just out. I'm just on the YouTube version, it's just it goes to a black screen. If you want to watch the rest of this, go to Patreon. I'm not blurring 40 minutes of tits.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for a 40-minute censor bar, even though it's free.
Well, I just have to be the one fucking, actually motion tracking it for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Up, down, up. There we go.
Yeah. It's either that or just let my computer run for 2 days in fucking After Effects. I'll come back to this. Eventually it'll figure it out. And then I'll still have to manually review it, make sure that she didn't nip slip out of frame, or just have a massive sense nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Whole screen just black censored.
Yeah. Just her head.
Yeah. Green screen it. So it's just a floating head,
I've done that as a guest on other people's shows.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
They weren't expecting it.
Just the floating mat head?
I was wearing a mask too.
Oh, floating mysterious man.
I'm sorry for the audience who's heard this story, but I got asked to do a podcast, and I'm a whore. Come do my podcast. Okay, sure. And I didn't do any research. I'm like, oh, this podcast is really not so good. So I decided to be a troll.
Yeah. You probably made their podcast more interesting that way. Best episode.
The host did not know how to react.
Yeah.
Because it's a remote show, and I'm wearing, when we do the pre-interview, I'm wearing a bathrobe over my green screen suit.
And then the reveal.
Well, and so I had a curtain graphic go in front of me.
Okay.
So they introduced me. I pull back the curtain graphic, and I'm just a floating head.
That's perfect.
And the host just, what's up, man?
Yeah, I'm saying that was probably the best episode they ever shot.
It's definitely one of their highest viewed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But, you're supposed to have fun with it. Like,
Yeah.
it's podcasting.
That's why we're here, you know?
Oh, I'm just here to be able to write my alcoholism off on, taxes.
Yeah, that's a great use of it.
Who cares what the content sells if I can then just, write it
Get
off?
drunk and hang out with people? Fuck yeah, it's the best content.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here.
Like, he's just like, this is the best content. Just putting that right. That'll be the clip right there. Just, this is the best content.
Yeah. Slow it down. This is the best,
Just over and over again.
Yeah.
This is the best content.
Every vocal range.
Make a symphony of Luckies.
Yeah. This is the best content. It'd be a great intro.
And then people tune in like, why are they talking about this for 20 minutes?
Yeah. You guys are talking about the content without creating content. This is the content, guys. I'm sorry.
Content inception.
You heard it here first. Content inception. It's content inside of content where they talk about the content that's happening. It's every wall is being broken. 4th through 10th wall, just gone.
Oh, not the 10th wall.
The 10th wall.
That's the scary one.
That's where it's like double anal or nothing.
I didn't prep.
Dude, I was at testing today and I grabbed some gummies, like the Welch's fruit gummies or whatever. And I was like, oh, these are perfect for anal. Didn't think about what I was saying. And the lady was like, why? And I was like, I'm not the best person to explain this to you, but the way that I understand it, when you eat gummies like this, you just pee them out. So it doesn't affect your anal performance. She was like, interesting. I'm never going to do anal, but I'll keep that in my mind. And I was like, you're welcome.
How does someone at TTS not know that?
Yeah, right? I mean, it's clear.
And they're the new kids.
Yeah, they're the new people. And the lady who works there is amazing, but she was just like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh,
wow, it's like
I overshare.
You're so new if you don't know that.
Well, the funny thing is, like, the way that I was presenting it too, I was like, it's good for anal. She was like, anal? I was like, a lady in a fucking scrubs just said the word anal very loudly. I don't know how to respond to this.
I mean, spread your ass cheeks, obviously.
Yeah, that's what everything in work has taught me. But because I was outside of the workplace, I was like, where do I put my hands?
I mean, you're technically still at work there.
Technically, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the job.
Yeah, they just call me by my real name, which throws me off. Getting your government name, you're like, oh, it's not. This is real now. Suddenly,
they're taking real fluids.
Yeah.
Then again, I guess your co-stars are taking real fluids too. So
yeah, most of the time.
Well, yeah. Well, we've broken that wall before too.
Like, yeah. The fake squirting is always the weirdest. I don't know if you've heard about those.
I always thought the fake pops are weirder than fake squirt.
Yeah. Luckily, I haven't had to do any of those, but I've definitely, for like softcore and stuff, like the FIPS, the fake internal pops are always great, especially if like you're shooting with a girl that's relatively new. Because like you and the director will know what's going to happen. He'll be like 30 seconds and you're like, cool. Oh, I'm coming. And the girl's like, not inside of me. You're like, no, we're kidding. Like, this is softcore. Like, just chill. It's fine. We're all acting here.
It's a performance.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm just a really good actor, They think it's real every time.
Here, have some Cetaphil on your crotch.
Yeah. Dude, one of my like 5th scenes, they were like Cetaphil in the mouth. And I was like, this girl's not getting paid enough for this. Are you kidding me?
Gross.
Like, yeah. It's literally soap in the mouth. Like,
yeah.
She didn't say a bad word. What are you doing? Like, it's against the rules. But yeah, Cetaphil, Michael Serafil.
So many people that are new to this are just like, what
are they talking about right now?
So Cetaphil looks like a pop.
It looks just like cum. If you've ever seen Cetaphil, don't put it in your mouth. It tastes horrible. I don't know, but I would guess. But yeah, it looks just like cum, like the exact same consistency. Because the problem is I feel like a lot with like those like cum lubes and stuff, it's just like thick paste, which like your cum is coming out thick and pasty. You might want to go see Riggs.
He'll give you antibiotics.
Yeah, he will. He'll definitely give you antibiotics. I love that man, but he also scares the fuck out of me.
Is he the reason that we have antibiotic-resistant strains now? Is it all Riggs' fault?
Yeah, it's all his fault. Absolutely.
Please don't sue me.
Dude,
Riggs, a joke.
Fucking a year ago, I had a very unfortunate situation that I had a cyst on my penis. Yep, my 3rd cyst I've had in my life. I'm prone to skin cancer, apparently. But I had it on my dick. I thought it was like a breakout at first, and it wasn't. It was a fucking cyst. So I had to go into Riggs, and I was like, hey, so I have a cyst on the side of my penis. He was like, lay down. I'm like, okay. He's like, do you want any anesthetic or anything? Never mind, you'll be good. Slice. And almost cried. Like,
Almost? Why almost?
Well, because it was so quick. He literally was like, slice, squeeze, you're good. And Stevie was there. I'm gripping her hand the whole time. We bandage my dick up. We get back to the car, and I'm just like, did that just happen? Like, that actually just happened. Like, that she just took a scalpel to my penis. And I guess I'm okay now. There's not even a scar. So good job on him. But every time I see him now, he'll like step towards me, and I step back a little bit. Love you, Riggs.
That'll teach your body to have a cyst.
Yeah, not again, bro. I had one on my face when I was born, which was like skin cancerous, and then I had one on my chest too. So that was my third cyst.
So the next one's in your leg, huh?
Or my butthole, if we're lucky. Like right.
I mean, you'll die like Farrah Fawcett then.
I mean, it's a great way to go.
Is it?
No, not at all.
Breast cancer? And then to be outshined by a more important celebrity when you die?
Yeah.
Because you know she died the same day as Michael Jackson.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
They're like, that's a giant bummer. It's like, oh, Farrah Fawcett, you're so... Oh, Michael Jackson's dead. Never mind.
Yeah. Back burner.
That would just be like, you died the same day as Evan Stone, and just everyone forgets that you...
I would immediately not exist. Evan Stone is dad. He's played my dad in a couple roles. So he and Tommy Pistol, every time I see them, I'm like, hey, dad. Because they always end up playing my father character, which is fun. Evan Stone's awesome. Such a nice guy.
I love Evan. I don't necessarily agree with his politics, but I love Evan.
I've never heard his politics.
Oh, he's very conservative. Evan.
Is he? Interesting. Well, because Katie's Katie.
Yeah.
I love Katie. She's just like
great too.
Stoner, awesome human person. But yeah, and they also like they've got chickens and they've got their little farm and stuff. So like I guess I kind of see that with that, but just the way he is, I don't know.
Oh no. It's one of those things. I love Evan to death, but like we're friends on real life Facebook, and like he will post wild conservative shit sometimes. It's like, Evan, you've been in this industry for like 40 years.
Yeah.
I understand you have a lot of money now, but
well, it's like I had an art school or art teacher back in high school who was like super Republican, and it was like, you teach art. How does that happen? And I mean, I don't want to talk about any political preferences and put anyone in any certain situation, but that was just one of those things that you're like, he was such a free-flowing guy, and he just, I don't know. I mean, at the time, it was fucking Bush. So he was just like, oh, I love making art, and I love George Bush. And it was like, those two things don't go together in a sentence, but that's okay. Continue.
Actually, it really does. Bush makes art, too.
Does he?
Yeah, that's what he did in retirement. He does portraits and shit, so it really does go hand in hand.
Okay, maybe that makes sense. Maybe they're homies. I heard Bush smokes a lot of weed, too. So.
Are they both war criminals?
I don't want to throw my art teacher under the bus.
Just war criminal artists.
Yeah, for real. That art teacher was awesome, though. I came into class, like, stoned all the time. And so this is actually how it happened. I do pottery now full time. And one of the first times, so he was my art school teacher in middle school. And then he transferred to the high school when I went into high school.
I was about to say, you're rolling into middle school fucking stoned?
Yeah, just rolling up in the art room. No, transferred to, obviously, like, went to high school and kind of got into some weed there. And he, like, recognized that because I would just skip class and go to the art room. And one day I was just, like, sitting in the art room drawing. And he was like, do you want to try throwing pottery? Because he went to college for pottery. And I was like, sure. I sat down on the wheel and was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. Especially when you're stoned. I was like, oh, my God. And now 17 years later, that's all I fucking do is throw pottery and skateboard.
I believe you do have sex on film.
That I do too, on occasion, for money.
For money.
Yeah.
Never for fun.
No. Only with Stevie for fun.
Well, I'm glad you're, having sex with your partner for fun.
Yeah.
That would be really depressing if you're like, nah, only for money too. She's got to pay me.
Yeah. No. That'd be so funny if I was like, we only have sex on camera, babe. I'm a male talent. That's what I do. I can't have sex unless there's a red light blinking and someone yelling, louder, please, louder.
And, this pop is worth money.
Yeah. Did you not know? This pop is worth 1 day rate. That's all I'm saying. If she paid me for every pop, I would be so rich by now.
Except you'd have to support her.
Yeah. I mean, it would just go right back in.
Yeah. It's bad math.
Yeah.
It's literally from one pocket to the other.
Yeah.
It would only be there to feed your ego at that point. Like,
yeah, exactly. And then she'd be like, let's go to dinner. And I'd be like, I guess I'm paying. With the money you just paid me for this fucking cum. Good times.
Doesn't that feel fun? To be able to pay for dinner with orgasms?
Yeah. That'd be a weird, like, little scenario. I wonder if anyone's ever done that. If they, like, paid each other back and forth, like, for sexual favors, like, in a relationship, Like, here's 500, I want a blowjob. And then later she's like, 500, eat me out. And it just goes back and forth. You should just have, like, a bingo chip, or, like, one of, like, those, the gambling chips. And just, like, I call my turn.
till someone has a bad spend it, and it's just like, oh, babe, I can't pay you for that.
Yeah. Oh, I seem to have lost my wallet.
Can I have a marker for that blowjob?
Yeah. 1 IOU, please. Blowjob IOU.
I swear I got you. Susan, next scene, I got you.
You know I'm good for it. You know
where I live. Yeah. It's fine.
I'll pay you on Tuesday.
I will pay you on Tuesday for a blowjob today.
Yeah. That should be on a t-shirt. It'd be the weirdest t-shirt ever, but...
Well, it's also a fucking Popeye reference.
Is it?
Wimpy, like the character Wimpy. Like,
yeah.
I will gladly pay you on Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Yeah. Well, that rolled into, I sold weed for a long time. I can admit that now. But that rolled into that for a very long time. Like, I'd gladly pay you tomorrow for weed you give me today. You're like, you're going to ask the same thing tomorrow.
And also forget that I gave you weed today.
Yeah, exactly. Once you've smoked it, it no longer exists.
Oh, yeah. Stoners are infamous for that.
Yeah. Weed causes memory loss.
Who are you?
Unfortunately.
Again?
What?
Who are you?
Weed causes memory loss?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Lucky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wait, who are you? And how the fuck did I get here?
Oh, so you're in hell.
Oh, sweet. This is actually comfier than I thought it would be.
For now.
Oh, fuck.
The sounding starts soon.
Well, today's the day. I guess I get to try something new.
Forever.
How wide is the needle, though? That wrench or that screwdriver right there looks about good.
Oh, that's the skinny end.
Okay, cool. Oh, you flip it around.
That's the skinny end.
Give me that green handle.
All right. Next, we move to pineapples.
Dude, Stevie and I were driving down, I don't know if it was up or down from Big Bear yesterday, but I saw a pineapple sticker on the back of someone's car upside down. Which, like, I know what that means, obviously, but to, like, put that on your car is pretty... I mean, I know people put, like, their Instagrams and stuff on their car, but to just be like, this is my sexual preference on my windshield, my rear windshield is like...
Some people ain't got shit better going on in their lives, so they just need to advertise everything.
Do you think that, like, they were ever in traffic and someone was like, pineapple, and they were like...
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah.
That is what they're dreaming of.
That's the goal.
Every day they leave their house.
Someone just sitting in a passenger seat waiting to see that pineapple and hop into another car, you know?
Every fucking day.
Yep.
They're just like...
Come on!
It's the only thing that's going to spice up the commute.
Mm-hmm. Especially out here. 20 minutes to get 3 miles. I love it, LA. I love you so much. I'm just kidding.
I legitimately do love this place.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love most things about LA. Traffic, I will say, I do not like about LA. Coming from Boston, which is also a very small city with a shit ton of traffic, you guys suck at driving. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I don't know what it is in the water or what out here, but like, people are not good at navigating their cars.
Oh, because they're distracted. Everyone's looking at their fucking phones.
Yeah.
2, everyone, has... I'm the star of the show.
Yeah, everyone here's a main character.
Right.
So, like, they can't get in a car accident because main characters don't get in car accidents,
Right.
Unless that's the theme of the episode.
Exactly. And, like, how dare that NPC cut me off?
Exactly. Fuck you and your fucking Civic. Every person in this fucking city. I just been looking at cars recently, so now, like, I'm looking at buying one. So every time I'm on the road, I'm like looking at every car, and I'm just like Civic. Oh, Prius, Civic. LA.
Down here in LA proper, it's a lot of Teslas now.
Yeah, when you get to Hollywood, it's more Teslas. When you're in the Valley, it's a lot of Civics and Priuses. But you get to Tesla,
you get to Tesla.
You get to Tesla City, and it's a whole lot of Hollywoods here. Yeah, no, there's fucking...
Drink
Teslas
more,
everywhere.
Lucky. Drink more.
Yeah, I'll keep drinking. First glass, guys.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. These are sweet glasses, too.
Thank you. They're from the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam.
Really? Oh, that's fucking awesome. Need to go there. To Amsterdam and to that fucking museum.
Go for XBiz.
Yeah? Really?
There's XBiz in Amsterdam.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I heard they actually I say just, but like a year ago, they outlawed cannabis use there for tourists. I heard
know.
this. Or at least they're cracking down on it more. You could definitely Google that.
I am.
But I heard for a very long time, obviously, like Amsterdam brought in a lot of tourists because of the cannabis use. But I guess they've gotten a little bit stricter about visitors using cannabis in their country.
Okay, as of 7/21/23, according to Dutch law, cannabis can only be sold only to people that are residents of the Netherlands. Until now, Amsterdam has tolerated consumption of cannabis by non-residents.
Yep. So again, that's why I'm like, oh, I want to go to Amsterdam, but like less incentive now. Just a little bit.
Well, I'm just curious, can you still buy shrooms?
Probably. I mean, I feel like if you go there and you can somehow not look like the most American fuck and walk into a coffee shop or whatever, you'd probably be able to buy cannabis and mushrooms.
Well, it's technically truffles. They can't sell mushrooms.
Well, yeah, in the little chocolate form or whatever.
No, they're wet. They're vacuum sealed and wet.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was like little chocolates that they sold.
No. At least when I did it,
Yeah.
it was like a fucking plastic container that opened up and
wet
then
mushroom,
and then like a vacuum sealed pack of wet truffles
okay,
inside the bag.
interesting.
It was good times.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I love this is gonna sound really weird, but I love the taste of mushrooms. Like I like mushrooms on regular food and stuff like that. So like psilocybin has always been one of those things that I'm like, oh, I actually like most of my friends if we're taking it, it's like you mix it with peanut butter or whatever to get rid of the flavor, and I just wow.
Oh no, I'll just eat them raw. I'm not in love with the flavor, but it's just like.
Well, they taste, this is going to sound weird, but like the stems always tasted like the host from church to me, which I actually think that shit's fire. I would eat the body of Christ with a glass of milk and watch a movie because I don't know. Have you been to church? Have you ever had the host from church? So when you go to church, you come up to when they're giving you the host or whatever, you walk up and they're like body of Christ and they give you this little like wafer, really flat cracker thing. It's basically flavorless, but you put it in your mouth and it like dissolves. And to me, it tastes exactly like a mushroom stem. So once I started eating mushrooms, I was like, oh, you know what this reminds me of? They'd be really good with a glass of milk. I'm just saying. They give you wine, milk would be better. The cum of Christ. Glass of milk.
Well, that was actually something we discussed on a previous episode. It's like, if Christ can turn water into wine, could he turn urine or other bodily fluids that are mostly made of water into wine?
I'm sure he probably could. Turn up. He just like drinks, goes to the bathroom, continues drinking. You're like, what the fuck was that, Jesus? Like, don't worry about it.
Well, just imagine it like Jesus is popping, and then it's like, oh, red or white?
Red or white? Red or white, decide. I can't hold it forever.
Rosé?
Yeah, just, I don't know, mix it. Something in between.
A blend. I want a blend.
Fuck. That'd be...
Jesus, the ultimate sommelier.
Yeah, for real. I was going to say, like, imagine that in, like, as a male talent. Like, what flavor do you want?
You honestly should
Bubblegum.
do that in a fucking scene.
Yeah. Strawberry or watermelon. They're like, what?
You 100%. Like, I'm putting that on you. You have to do that.
Dude, the director would be so pissed, especially if I actually popped right after that. They'd be like, seriously? They'd be like, for the lols? I don't know.
Do it for a content trade.
Yeah, actually, I'll go do that to Stevie tonight. Don't tell him. Be getting close, be like, blueberry or lime, babe? What? Pick a flavor.
You got to have a camera on her face. When
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like a little spy cam in the corner.
just
What the fuck are you saying?
you didn't pick.
Yeah, you didn't pick, so I just gave you regular cum. Boring.
That would be actually wild in the future if people could get an implant that they could affect their flavor.
Right? But I feel like if I was in the position that a girl was like about to like squirt or something and she was like, watermelon or strawberry, I would immediately be like, watermelon. Like I wouldn't even think about it. I'd just be like, that one, go now. Like, you know?
Yeah, but like, do you want real watermelon or do you want like Jolly Rancher? Like
Jolly Rancher. I want the artificial watermelon for sure. I love that flavor.
Well, it's like grape. It's like, when they're like grape, it's like, am I getting artificial grape or am I getting something that tastes
Is this
like
like deep purple grape or is this like
it's like
pretty translucent grape?
yeah.
I want deep purple.
Or just chalky fucking artificial.
Oh, like fucking Robitussin flavor.
Yeah.
That I don't know if I could do porn if squirt and cum tasted like Robitussin. I'd probably be done.
Some people would be really into it though.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I have some friends in high school that were really into it, but yeah, not my favorite flavor. The worst of all of those is like cherry medicine flavor.
Oh, NyQuil.
Fucking shoot me, dude. Yeah, it's so bad. You give me some citrus or something, it's fine, but you give me cherry medicine, I'm probably gonna get hate for that. I don't even give a shit, but cherry medicine is nasty.
I will happily do the cherry over the fucking minty green fucking NyQuil.
That's fair. And the funny thing is, like, I remember as a kid being like, oh, cherry flavor's gross. And my parents being like, you should have seen what it was like before they flavored it. And I was like, bitch, give me that. Like, better than false cherry. Like, I'll take that shot of whatever happily. But if it was cherry flavored, I'd be like, maybe not.
So you don't want the Malort's Giving with the cranberry flavor?
Malort's Giving. Yeah. Well, you're saving that one, so I can't have it anyways. So.
I know. I'm just taunting you with it.
Yeah. Oh, God. Now I want it. Now that I've been told I can't have it, I want it so bad.
You'll have to come back in November.
Sounds good. I'll be 33 by then. Ew. I didn't just say that.
It's okay. That's fine for male talent.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Like,
I mean, 23.
Mailtown's allowed to age.
Yeah, except I still play an 18-year-old. I've been saying the minute that they cast me as a stepdad, neck tattoo. Don't give a shit. Like I've been holding off. I did this 2 weeks before I started porn because I was like, no one's gonna tell me to not get a hand tattoo, and it's definitely ruined VR for me. But Nathan can have all the VR. He's good at it.
You could derma blend it.
Yeah, a little bit. We actually we got some of that because Stevie was trying to blend some of her tattoos for just like photos and stuff, and I have a big air compressor, so we were like playing with how it worked. But like my skin is, I'm Irish as shit, so my skin is like really blotchy, so you can't find a tone for it. It's like
just red.
Yeah,
just be like, did you get too much sun? What the fuck happened to you?
Well, that's what happens in the summer. I'll come back looking like a lobster.
How very Boston of you.
Oh yeah, exactly. That is my thing. I went to college in Maine, so lobster is very on point for me.
I know.
Which is funny because I hate lobster.
How can you hate lobster?
It's the cockroach of the sea.
It's still delicious.
I don't know. I'm a weird with meats. I'm weird with meats. Boom. I'm weird with meats. There's a lot of meat consistencies that I really don't like, especially like fish because they're very squishy. So
you don't eat sushi?
So the sushi that I eat like avocado and cucumber sushi.
That's not sushi.
I know, but it comes in rolls, so it's still sushi.
No, it's not.
There's the seaweed and there's the rice and.
I mean, I guess technically, it's
right?
like saying when I had horse in Tokyo, I technically had horse sashimi.
I mean, yeah,
it was over rice. It was cut like fucking. I guess
was it good?
A little greasy, but not bad.
Yeah. Again, dropping fucking Nathan's name. He's like the king of all the random meats and stuff. I've eaten probably in my life like pig, cow, and chicken. That's probably it. Nathan's like, you've never had elk?
Oh, elk's great.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it'd be like tough.
I mean, it depends how it's prepared.
Yeah.
Like anything. I've eaten zebra, springbok, and kudu while I was in South Africa.
Damn.
Like,
what is zebra like? Is it similar to the horse?
It's a little gamey. It wasn't quite, well, I mean, that might have just been the preparation because the zebra was definitely cooked and the horse definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
So that might have been a preparation. It was a little gamey. It was good. It was,
interesting.
Yeah, I went to a wild game restaurant while I was down in South Africa. So
that's fucking awesome. Where were you in South Africa?
Cape Town.
Oh, nice. Fuck
yeah, I was down there in 2015. Like, it's one of those places where, like, I'm glad I went. I had a good time. I'm not sure I'll ever go back.
That's, yeah. I was in Kenya and Tanzania like 4 or 5 months ago, and it was amazing. I was on a safari with my family. My dad just retired. So he's like, we're going to do a family thing. And we went out there and did that. We were there for 2 weeks. It was amazing. But yeah, it was one of those things that like, I don't know if I'll do that again anytime soon. Just because I'm weird with food and I love my weed. And I was over there. I just remember complaining, being like, man, there's no weed here. And my younger brother, who's gay, was like, oh, it's illegal for you to smoke weed here. It's illegal for me to live here. And I was like, I'm going to stop bitching.
Thanks, Dad, for bringing us here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Awesome time.
This is a family vacation, huh, Dad?
Yeah.
You're just dragging your offspring where you want to go, huh?
Yeah, exactly. What else is new? But yeah, no, it was a fun time. But I remember when you were talking about zebras, like one of the crazy things that blew my mind, like for some reason growing up as a kid, I thought zebras were like more rare.
No.
Because they're like a striped, they don't look like they should exist. Like they look like a unicorn when you see one. But when you see one, it's with 9,000 other zebras. So you're like, oh shit, those aren't as rare as I thought.
No, they're very much pack animals. That's how they survive.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, they're real obvious to predators. Big black and white striped things.
Super easy to see. So because of that, they're actually really, they have really good instincts to like avoid predators and stuff like that. And they have a really good sense of direction versus like water buffalo have no sense of direction whatsoever. So when there's great migration happens, the water buffalo follow the zebras. But like there's situations where like water buffalo will be in a group and they'll get attacked by a lion. So the rest of them will like run away. One will get caught. They'll run 3 minutes north and then in 10 minutes start walking back south because they've already forgotten that one of them just got eaten by a lion. And it's like, that's why they need the zebras to guide them. We love you, zebras, for guiding the dumb animals of the world. Thank you so much.
I'm being pretty delicious.
Yeah, apparently. I have not tried you, but I might have to.
You should.
Yeah? I don't know where I would get zebra in California.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Where's a good... I bet you could get it in Hollywood. It'd just be the right place. You can get everything here.
I feel like these are lies.
Yeah. The Carl's Jr. new zebra burger.
Because like someone popped up as the Zebra Cafe. I'm like, nope,
that's not it. They'd be offended if you walked in and asked for zebra. They'd be like, sir, this is the cafe. Where are the zebras?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to do some more research on this and be like...
Again, dropping his name, Nathan would know. he's told me he's got different meat connects all over SoCal. And I'm like, I don't know. That sounds like a drug dealer type thing, but
See, I'm bummed I never got to do Cooking with Nathan because when we talked about it years ago, it's just like, oh, we gotta do something that like full on like.
oh,
pig's
you guys could have made some crazy stuff on.
Oh yeah, I'm like, dude, bring a pig's head on. Like,
Yeah.
I will bite its cheek on camera.
Yeah, he would love that. Absolutely.
I don't know why it never came to fruition, but
Yeah. There was a period of time where I was like, actually, for a long period of my life, I was a vegetarian.
I'm sorry.
And I know, it's fine. That's why I'm so tiny. I just never grew. Puberty didn't happen because I didn't eat meat.
You have facial hair. You have facial hair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this came in when I was 14. I don't know how the fuck.
Well, I mean, that's certainly a sign of puberty.
Yeah. I guess I hit it then. But you see my younger brother and you'd be like, yeah, I don't know if you hit puberty. My younger brother is like 6'1", like 180, all muscle. And I'm just like, hey.
Well, he's got to attract men.
Yeah, that's true. He lives in WeHo and he loves it. He's actually pretty close to here.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, the gay community is much more attractive than us because they have to attract men.
Well, and that was so I moved to Hollywood. I lived out here for like a 2-year period. And before living in Hollywood, I lived in the Valley. And I'm just a dirty skater that hangs out with dirty skaters. And then I moved to Hollywood and I saw the people that I lived around and was like, maybe I should start working out. Like, maybe I should wear pants that aren't from Target or something. Like, just influenced by my surroundings. But no, I still wear Target pants.
I mean, fuck that. Also, the building you were living in has been full of douchebags at times. Like, I've definitely been at that pool and had people just like demand everyone at the pool's attention so they could do it like a performance.
Yeah.
So, how fuck you?
Yeah.
Like, this is a community space. What do you mean? Stop what we're doing to watch your fucking performance.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares.
Like,
no one paid for this.
Yeah. I feel like that's a sad reality in Hollywood, especially. It's like all these main characters that are like, I'm the shit. And then they realize, like, because everyone's trying to be a main character. So, like, how the fuck? I'm not watching your show if you're not watching mine, bitch. Simple rules.
And we were just trying to get day drunk and be ignorant in the pool. And
Yeah.
fucking performance. Like, fuck you.
Well, I feel like that's like, there's a dude I see around Hollywood all the time that has one of those like little unicycle, like electric unicycle things. But he'll be riding around with a cigar in his mouth and like a GoPro on his head. And then he has another one that's like remote controlled that follows him with a camera on it. I'm like, what are you shooting right now? Like, you are the most main character I've seen in Hollywood, and I've never seen your content. Show me your Instagram page.
See that? I don't know if it's Midwestern values. That shit bothers me so much.
Yeah. Like, it's so egocentric to be like, oh, everyone revolves around you. Cool. That's great. Good for you.
Like, I have a friend who I will not go to the movies to anymore because he's like, oh yeah, I just talk during movies. I'm like, cool. I'm never going to a movie with you.
Yeah. If we're sitting in the living room and watching a movie we've seen, you can talk.
If it's a movie we're seeing.
Yeah. If you're at a movie theater,
yeah,
kindly turn your phone off and shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, no. Where he went and saw the Iron Claw and he's just talking. He wasn't familiar with the Von Erich story at all. And like, are you familiar with them or the movie? It's like a really tragic story, like, of this wrestling dynasty, and like most of the brothers die. Like, and, they had to, for the movie, cut one of the brothers out because he died too in real life. And like,
fuck.
Yeah, of the 5 brothers, 4 of them are dead.
Holy shit.
And it's all real life. And it's just like, it's a tragic story, and it's a well done movie.
Yeah.
And he's just like yelling at the screen. I'm just like, dude, stop.
Like, bro, insensitive doesn't even begin to describe it. Like, please.
Like, I understand you're having an emotional reaction to this shit, but stop.
Well, and like, if you're not from here and you're like conscious of those types of things in public, it's like super cringy to be with a friend that's doing stuff like that. You're like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know how to fucking,
Yeah, it's just like, fucking, there are like, people that pay
pacifier. Yeah. Watch the movie.
It was literally just like, people have paid money to be here.
Yeah.
You are not the main character here.
Well, and that's, that, especially like I said, the movie theater, like, good times.
I've dated some girls who got a little drunk, because that happens around me sometimes, and like start heckling comics. And I'm just like,
no,
yeah, I'm never going to go out with you again.
Yeah, no, I hate that shit. Like, if your name isn't on the fucking bill for the day, don't say shit. Like,
right.
You're not an act. I'm sorry.
Unless the comic directly interacts with you and is expecting to do crowd work off you.
Yeah.
But it's speak when spoken to only.
Yeah. I've seen a bunch of stuff on TikTok recently, though. It's like mostly like crowd work and hecklers, because I mean, it's good content. Like, not the heckler side of it, but like watching comics just destroy these hecklers. Like, we all root for that heckler to be destroyed. So if you're that heckler, like, we are all rooting that you fail.
We are.
Don't be a dick.
I 100% am. But when I'm sitting next to you, like, there are very few things in life that I get embarrassed about. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, being associated with that person is just like no. I will happily be an ass in public. I showed up you saw me at the Xmas party. I'm not in like fucking tip top shape. I was there in a open bathrobe with no shirt on. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, whatever. Don't care.
But that's dope. Like, there's a difference between like people that can not give a shit and carry themselves in a fun way versus people that are like super egocentric. Another name I'm going to throw out there, like Sean Alf, amazing fucking dude. Wears whatever the fuck he wants and is always super eccentric, super amazing, but he's never like trying to take attention away from everyone. He's just fucking being himself, you know? Versus like, I think there's a lot of people out here that they wear and do things specifically for attention. You're like, ew.
Even if you're doing attention-seeking behavior, it's okay to disagree. But when you're negatively impacting other people to do it,
fuck that.
Right.
Like, what are you getting out of this? Is this making you feel better about your day?
Right. You're ruining what other people have spent their hard-earned money and time on fucking seeing.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like it comes from a place of jealousy. Like, they're seeing someone perform and doing well. They're like, me too. And you're like, sit down, kid. Like,
right. Go do an open mic.
It's the same vibe as like that kid at like the first grade birthday party that's crying because the person whose birthday it is opening presents and he wants to be opening presents and everyone looking at him. It's like, dude, grow the fuck up.
Yeah. But that's almost socially acceptable when you're a child.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, even when you're a child, it's still like, calm down, kid. Like
your
you're
parents
30 years old plus, like, how have you not learned?
How has no one punched you in the head for this?
Yeah. I feel like that's a usual turning point in those people's lives. If they just get a like slap to the face, they might realize, but you never know.
Yeah. I'm just at a point in my life where like, I don't want to be violent with my friends, but I want to be violent with my friends.
Yeah. For real.
It's just like, shut the fuck up, please. The worst was I was on a date with a girl and we went to like a bar comedy show. And I looked away for a second, and all of a sudden, she's on stage. Like, she's so drunk.
Check, please. Uber. Like,
yeah. And, like, because she was hot, she got away with it. Like, the comic.
Privilege.
Yeah. The comic was just like, afterwards, like, is that your girl? Like, he was just, he DM slid her afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm like, have that, dog.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it. Like, after that, nope.
Yeah. Yeah,
nope.
she's already on my no list, so.
Yeah. It's big nope.
Yeah, for real.
Personally, as someone who really enjoys drinking, I have very little tolerance for people that get that sloppy.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I get drunk and I get quieter, which is why I'm drinking very slowly right now.
Yeah, please don't get quiet on the podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stay loud.
Good.
Just for you guys. Not for you, but for you guys.
They're the ones that matter.
Exactly. Matt doesn't matter.
No.
Just kidding, I love you.
You don't know me.
That's true. I want to know you.
That's really weird to be that infatuated with me already. Yeah, stay on your side of the table. HR. 2 episodes this week. I've had to call fucking HR for porn stars being inappropriate.
Yeah, 3 times. Let's go.
Well, you're number 2.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I technically had to call it on her twice. She was just like, "So suck your dick." I'm like, "Stop!"
No, it's not that kind of podcast,
right? Those aren't podcasts, by the way.
Yeah, those are all OnlyFans channels.
Yeah,
or many vids. We don't want to just give it to one.
Right.
I want clips. You're all out there. We love you.
That is content with a podcast setup.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like that line is getting blurred more and more with porn because that is kind of the goal with like most sets is they're like, all right, we're going to like impersonate whatever's popular right now and just make it porn.
Yeah.
You know? So like I could absolutely see people like being in the middle of a podcast and then just the sex cast.
Yeah. I've had a couple guests like ask their publicists like before they do the show, like, do I have to fuck him? I'm like, no, you specifically do not have to fuck me.
Yeah.
Please
do I need to put that in writing? Like,
and why are you not asking me?
Yeah.
If I was a potential scene partner, wouldn't you ask me?
Yeah. That's funny. Just like girls just showing up like in lingerie. Like, where do I go? You're like sitting in the chair and talking to the mic.
Oh yeah, no. I definitely often get like, so what should I wear? I'm like, whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. What's comfortable?
Right. How you want to present yourself to the internet is what I tell people.
Your favorite drinking shirt.
Yeah.
You know, this is my favorite drinking shirt. Actually, I don't think I've ever drunk in this shirt.
Well, first time for everything.
Yeah. This is the time.
But yeah, literally, I was just like, people have shown up in pajamas. Whatever the fuck you want to wear.
I should have worn a onesie.
You could have.
I have a Charmander onesie that I fucking love wearing, and I should have worn that.
That gives me, well, no, that was Squirtle. Never mind.
Yeah. Different Pokemon?
Yeah. No, it just reminds me of the girl I almost married at AVN 14. Like, when we woke up the next morning, she was wearing a Pokemon Squirtle onesie with no crotch. It was good times.
It's a hydro pump hole.
Yeah, apparently. I was the one pumping hydro, so.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
I miss the old shit show days of AVN.
Yeah. I was just talking to Chris from Fox Modeling, and we were talking about AVN and just like how it's weirdly evolved over the last couple of years. Because I know I've only been in for like 2 years, but I was dating someone that was in the industry for a while. So I was at the last AVN at Virgin, or
At Hard Rock.
Hard Rock. And then we had the COVID AVN, which was weird. I was at Joanna and Small Hands' house for that. And then since then, it was the last two at Resorts World, right?
Yeah.
Which, tent life, but it's fine.
Just this year. The last year wasn't.
Well, it was partially tent life last year.
Oh, for like the awards and all that?
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that part. I came in on Thursday, I was like, okay, I have FOMO. I'm here for the day. Okay, I'm going back to LA.
Yeah, all right, I'm good.
I was there for just Thursday.
Yeah. See, I'm really shy, especially in like large groups like that. So I get there and I'm like so excited. And then I see how many people there are and I'm like, can we go back to the hotel room? That's why I just dragged Nathan with me. He's the outgoing one. And then I just get to stand there and be like, hi, everyone. My name's Lucky and I'm shy. Don't be mean to me.
Oh, I know. I saw that at the Expos party. Nathan hugged and you just kind of like.
Yeah.
And then Stevie hid behind you.
Yeah.
It was like progressively more shy.
Yeah. That's in a line. That's the way we work. That's why Nathan's at the front. He's just like, let him lead the way and we'll just slowly follow behind.
When Stevie came into the show, for the audience who doesn't know, Lucky and Stevie are involved.
Yes. She is my amazing partner, Stevie Moon. Look her up.
And I apologize to Stevie. I'm like, oh yeah, we saw each other at Xmas party. We didn't say a word to each other. My bad.
I mean, we're both very quiet people.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, she and I are both the same. We're like, we can be made to be more social if we're around someone that's social. Again, bring fucking Nathan in. Like,
he's actually hiding behind the curtain right now.
yeah, he's right here. And reveal Nathan Bronson.
Then he'd break
his dick.
And then he'd break something again. Every time he does the show, he breaks something.
Yeah, that's just his way. It's not on purpose. He's a nice guy. I'm sure he would like buy you a replacement for it, but he's just like, he's so wide and muscle that I feel like he just fucking, takes the mic out.
Well, it's just magic. Like, he literally was sitting when you were singing and the curtain just fell on him.
Yeah.
Like,
It just attracts it.
It just, like 2 minutes in, just the curtain fell on his head. It was just like,
He's like, help.
you didn't even touch it. What the fuck?
That's Nathan. I feel like he as a kid definitely broke a shit ton of stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because he's just a wild kid. I can imagine like Nathan's not allowed at our friends' houses anymore because he'd be breaking shit.
Go back to his childhood home. It's just a padded room.
Yeah. It's basically what his house is now. It's like a gymnasium. It's awesome. His house is the coolest thing ever. He's got a parkour set up outside and shit. It's so dope. I was a gymnast for 12 years, so I met Nathan and was like, let's go do flips. And that's been our friendship ever since.
Yeah, the couple times I've been over there, it's just like, well, that's fun to watch. I will never be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was over there for the 4th of July. He always has like 4th of July parties and stuff. And I've played around in this little gym thing plenty of times, and I was hanging out there, but there were a bunch of like the Tempest like parkour kids. And I was like, oh, I'm a gymnast. I know what I'm doing. And then I watched these kids and was like, I'm just going to sit and watch because these kids are extremely talented.
It's always like, oh yeah, in my mind I could no, never mind.
Yeah. Well, Nathan, in his mind, he can do it.
Oh, I know. And then he does.
Yeah. I was there with my little brother who were both gymnasts, been doing gymnastics for more than half of our lives. And we both were doing double front flips into the pool because we've practiced that for years. And Nathan was like, how do you do that? I was like, set and pull really hard. He was like, got it. Did one first try. I was like, I'm just going to sit and watch you guys now because that was the coolest thing I can do. And you just made it look really easy. So thanks, Nathan.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, bud.
Thanks.
We love you. We love you.
We do. Fucking. Hey, you can't knock someone for having natural talent.
That's what I'm saying. And he's got all of the natural talent. Like, holy shit.
And yeah, that's one of the things that fucking bothers me in life is like, why are you going to hate on someone else's fucking talent?
So I'm going to bring this up. This is a random thing, but like,
we love those things here.
I heard this online recently and it was like, genuinely, why does the internet hate Guy Fieri? Serious question, because from what I've heard, he runs a nonprofit where he puts different types of like food creative items in different public schools and stuff. So like popcorn makers, pretzel makers, like all these different things to just like bring food to people. Everyone that works underneath him is extremely well paid and he's a very liked guy, but the internet just for whatever reason was like, fuck that dude and his blonde hair and flame shirts. But like, I feel like he's the coolest dude.
You just got it right there. Blonde hair, flame shirts.
But Jack Black can have blonde hair, flame shirts, and we love him.
Yeah, but he doesn't dress like that all the time. Those are roles.
That's true. That's true.
So
maybe that is exactly it. I should just start wearing flame shirts and bleach my hair, and then everyone will hate me, and I'll be so much happier.
change your name to Guy Flame or something.
Yeah. Oh, there'd be so many good, easy pull-offs of that. It's another thing I tweet all the time is like random male talent names that I think of. Because like now I'm 2 years in, like I'm not going to change my name, but I think of names all the time that I'm like, oh my God, that would be such a good name. I'm trying to think of some right now, but the alcohol is getting to me, so I can't remember shit.
Well, damn it.
I always said one really funny one would be Buffalo Wild Wang.
B-dubs.
Yeah, B-dubs. Just Buffalo Wild Wang. But you'd have to have like a weird looking dick for you to be Wild Wang. You know what I mean? Like it'd have to have like a double curve to it. You're just like, it's wild.
Or you cum sauce.
Yeah, cum sauce.
You like flavored sauces?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a callback to the other.
Yeah. I saw a name today that I'm really proud of. I think it's an amazing name. It popped up on the WhatsApp. There's like a WhatsApp chat, but this girl's name is Anna Lingus. I was like, I don't even know you, but that was great. Good name. There's some really good porn names out there, and I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on them.
The problem is with the really clever porn names, they're hard to fucking search.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's not the era of box covers anymore where it's just like, oh, I can have a really cute, funny name. Now you have to have a name like, no shade, but your name is exceedingly hard to search.
Yep. Yeah, my name is really hard to fucking search. If you look up Lucky Fate, there's a board game called Lucky Fate.
And a bunch of movies. And
episodes of shows and stuff.
Yeah, I tried to do a little research before you got on, and I was like, yeah, I'm not finding shit.
Yeah, it's a tough fucking name. I didn't pick the name. It just kind of happened. My ex's, one of her like client friends was like, oh, if he ever does porn, he should call himself Lucky because he's dating you. And because I'm super Irish, I was like, I like that name. And it was Lucky Faye. And then we broke up. I just added the T to it. So it became Lucky Fate. I didn't pick any of it. It all just kind of fucking happened. And now we're here.
Were you one of these poor saps who took their performer partner's last name?
Yep. And then I added a letter to it to be different. Just one letter.
Pro tip out there. Never permanently brand yourself with anyone else in this industry.
Definitely don't do that. Like even Stevie and I don't have the same last name. Like we do, why? You know?
And Lucky Moon would be an interesting...
That would actually be a sick name. I think Stevie Fate would be sick.
You all should just swap.
Yeah. That would be sick.
Well, do it.
Yeah. Let's do it. That would actually be funny to put on our Twitters just to like fuck with people. Like just swap them.
Just swap it.
But then my name on the call sheets would be Lucky Moon. And I'd be like, that's not my real name, guys.
I think you should do it for a minute. Just see it. Just try it on. See how it fits.
Yeah. I'll let her know.
Yeah.
She's going to come pick me up in a little bit. So
yeah, do a repeat of when you picked her up. Just be real drunk and be like, by the way, your name.
Yeah. By the way, your name is now Stevie Fate. She'd be like, what are you saying?
Oh, man, I got to update tomorrow's episode. Fuck.
Yes.
Got to redo the titles.
Yeah. Stevie Fate.
Oh, my God. I mean, it would be such a dick move for branding and like actually like promoting the episode, but be hilarious if I actually fucking rolled it out.
Because then she'd be like, oh, this isn't tagging me properly. And you'd be like, but it's funny. So
don't tell her, but I think I will do some mock-up of the art.
Yeah.
Where it says Stevie Fate.
That'd be super funny. You got to do mine as Lucky Moon too.
Yeah.
Because then it'll come full circle. I won't say anything about it. It'll come out. She'll be like, what the fuck? And then when mine comes out, she'll be like, oh. I'd be like, yeah, Matt and I are really smart. You know, we're just crazy witty.
I'm just going to text it to her. Like, I won't tweet that. I'll just text it to her and be like, I just want you to approve the art.
Yeah. What do you think of this? She'd be like,
what the fuck?
What does that say? Like, you didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Your name changed. Duh.
Talk to your agent and everything.
Yeah.
It's been declared.
Yeah. By us, not by you. Sorry.
Wow, that's like super patriarchy. Like, we're just
just making the decisions here.
Just changing your partner's name without her permission.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're getting canceled over this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, as long as I change mine, then it's equal, right?
You still made the decision without her.
That's true.
Without her consent.
We're getting canceled. Sorry, guys. Last episode. See you guys never. Peace.
Oh, yeah. We'll be well canceled before this actually were meant to air. People are like, why did they get canceled? I didn't even hear that one. Fuck.
They were being controlling on the podcast. They were changing people's names without their consent.
Yeah, so they were changing people who identify as women's names without their consent. If we did it to another dude, if I just changed your name.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah. Lucky Moon, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay if man on man.
Man on man change. Man on man forceful changes. I guess some more of that Elijah Craig.
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
Speaking of shenanigans of male talent, did you see Twitter today at all?
Not really. I have an amazing partner who runs my Twitter so that I can avoid social media.
Well.
I missed out on some good shit.
You missed out on someone like just flat out calling out some content creators.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been happening quite a bit recently, like with I don't want to like throw names out there, but like some people getting in some fight situations and people faking tests and stuff. It's just like Twitter's been crazy recently.
Yeah. It's just like,
well, Stevie will usually come up to me and she'd be like, "Did you see the tea?" And I'd be like, "Of course not. I don't fucking go on my phone." And she'd be like, "Read this." I'm like, "Oh my God." Dude, she's like a special agent on Twitter. She knows everything that happens on Twitter, like before it happens. It's crazy.
oh, I know. Like every time I post a story, it's like, oh, Stevie saw my story. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to mind my P's and Q's. Otherwise, Stevie will know.
Dude, you could teach. She would be such a good PI. Like you could teach her everything and she would be so good at it. Like this girl will randomly be like she knows, I swear, she knows every girl in the industry. Because she'll randomly be like, "Do you know this girl?" And I'm like, "No, like I've been doing this longer than you, and I've watched a lot of porn in my life, and I've never heard of that person." And she's like, "Oh yeah, this person." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Well, shit, I should run future guest by her because occasionally I get people who are just like, oh, well, I don't really know who you are.
Dude, honestly, you could ask her about anyone in the industry, and she would have like 3 different opinions on each person. And she's a really nice girl. Like she likes most people, but she would definitely be able to tell you like the tea on every person because she's just good at that. It's crazy.
I'm curious what tea she has on me.
Oh. You change people's names on podcasts. Cancel him.
Right. It only happens occasionally. In like 400 something episodes, it only happened like 5 times.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I'm part of that.
Yeah.
Makes me feel special.
You should. I mean, 5th place is a thing, but
yeah, that's like most of my awards are 5th place. I'm just kidding.
Well, that's 5th participant, not 5th place.
Yeah. Yeah, I did come from the generation that we did get participation trophies in soccer and shit. So it was
I just meant gangbangs.
Oh yeah.
That's a group effort.
Yeah, that is. I love when gangbangs win on any platform because you see the one girl walk up and like the 6 guys walk up behind her and it's just like, I watched that. Like I know what happened here.
Everyone knows what happened. It won a trophy.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty known what happened there.
And everyone hopefully had a good time.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I don't know. The gangbangs, I feel like statistically, at least one person's not having a great time. You have 5 people involved. I mean, I don't want to think that, but I feel like that happens.
The last guy to come is just like,
Yeah. I just want to go home.
Well, everyone always just wants to go home.
Yeah.
That's the biggest secret in porn. Everyone wants to go home.
Yeah, facts. That was like kind of a weird switch for me coming from like a cannabis background where like the people that I worked with, this sounds mean, but like a lot of them like hated their home lives because we all grew weed. So like we would finish our day and we would hang out for like 5 hours because none of them wanted to go home. And I was the one dude that was like, I just want to fucking go play video games. But porn, it's exactly the opposite. Like we cut and it's like from the minute we cut, I'm usually in the car on the way home within like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to be like, oh, see you guys later.
Yeah, depending on the set, it's like exit interview, check, go.
Yep. And yeah, exactly. Like only half the companies do those exit interviews for so they're like, and a lot of them pay you 2 weeks down the line now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Payroll is changing for a lot of these companies and stuff like that because of whatever California laws. So I'll be like, check. They're like, in 2 weeks. I'm like, bye.
Oh, I feel so bad about that. Like,
well, the thing that sucks living in Big Bear, first of all, if you ever want to move to Big Bear, don't. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But like our address doesn't exist on most databases. So like right now, if I go to my Wells Fargo account, my address is my brother's address in West Hollywood. Because when I type in my Big Bear address, they say this is not a location. And I'm like, motherfucker, I live here.
Are you
like,
living in a trailer?
No, it's a house. It's a full-blown house, like brick and mortar house on a street with a bunch of other houses.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, I swear. No, I live under a tree. No, it is
very
like,
hippie-ish of you.
But one of the problems that's happened is like we get mail lost all the time because there's Big Bear City and there's Big Bear Lake. 2 different cities. So 90% of the time when we have one sent to our address, it gets sent to the other one. So we drive to the other post office and we're like, hi, there's our mail here. We've gotten so many pieces of mail like there that were supposed to get sent to us, but also checks because companies send me checks now. Like I'm not going to say companies, but I have companies that haven't paid me in 3 months. I've seen the footage come out. It's been out so long they put clips of it on Pornhub. and I still haven't gotten paid because the check comes out, it gets sent back. They try and send it, it gets sent back.
You'd think they'd set up direct deposit at that point.
Right? Some companies do. And a lot of companies like have like my Zelle or whatever. Like the directors will have it, so they just send it to me like as I'm leaving the location. But some companies, whatever payroll with California, they send it out. And because we live under a tree, we don't get it in the mail.
I've been around too long. I would never do production for somebody and be like, oh, my check's in the mail? Fuck no.
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it.
I shot with someone a couple weeks ago, again, not naming names, but a female talent that like, after we shot the scene, she was like, where's my check? And they're like, it'll be sent out. And she was like, I don't do sent out checks. Like, you pay me on the spot now. And the director was like, I don't have a checkbook. Like, what am I supposed to do? And they got in a whole fight about it. And I was like, I'm just going to see my way out because I have no part in this. But yeah, a lot of people are getting really frustrated about that.
I would be too. I mean, unfortunately, like, this industry sometimes is a little, like, unorganized.
Yeah.
We'll go with unorganized.
Like, everyone follows the laws in their own ways. Like, most companies follow the laws like 80%, but like the 20% they're leaving out is like in different areas all the time, you know? So it's like,
I don't even know if they follow 80% because
I was being generous.
Very. Like, all of us are supposed to be shooting with condoms in LA County.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
No, it's not. I know one company that does. Shout out Cherry Pimps.
Yeah, I mean, I think Wicked was for a little while for like their features, but
yeah,
I don't know if they still. I don't even know if Wicked's actually shooting features anymore. So
yeah, well, anytime I've shot for like Gamma features, which is like somewhere in that tree bracket, there's no condom.
Yeah.
So
well, Gamma's its own thing with adult time and all that shit. Wicked got gobbled up in the Mind Geek.
Oh yeah, so it's gotcha. I don't follow that stuff very often. Like I know it's all. I used to have a lot of friends that worked in crew and stuff like that, so I could follow it more, but now I don't. So I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm working for.
Do I get a check ever?
Yeah. Well, the check's always from like CSG org, and you're like, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, but thank you for the money.
Well, and I understand like they're worried about AB5.
Yeah.
But on the companies that you are getting checks 2 weeks later, are they having you fill out W-2s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Which then sucks because then I guess that's sent out for taxes and shit, which is like not as fun, but whatever.
Yeah.
Just makes it a little more complicated.
Just a little.
I have a tax guy. I pay him lots of money to do that shit for me. I went to art school. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, but it's also like if you worked on a feature and it went long, they might have to technically provide you benefits.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, Grinders? We shot 9 days on that shit. That movie was so much fun though.
And what, like the time? Like 9 days straight?
I think there was like a week break in between because we had like 2 makeup days.
But still, like, it only takes over 32 hours in a week to, where they have to actually start offering you benefits as an employee.
Shit. Run me that. That was like 2 years ago, though.
Yeah. Well, and the fucked up, like, by California law, like, it's super fucked up because, like, technically, if they don't pay you in that 2 weeks, you could go to the labor board and come after them for fucking, like, penalties and shit.
Shit. Hey, I'm gonna do it.
Well,
in this industry, I feel like it's not quite as...
Well, because, like, technically, if your employer does not give you... So, honestly, they should be able to cut you... They should have to cut you your check on your last day, unless you're technically... Because on the last day of... If someone terminates you, lays you off, whatever, and by California law, they have to give you your final check on your last day.
Oh, shit. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
And it's a penalty of a day's rate for every day that they're late with the check up to 30 days.
Shit. I'd just be like, what check? Yo, run.
I know, because I've taken other mainstream employers to the labor board on it. Like,
yeah.
Middle of COVID, got a fucking like $3,000 payout.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. I remember like when I worked in cannabis sales for a long time, and like they would do like net 14 and net 30 for stuff. So like that was also weird coming from like a black market background, being like, here's your 5 pounds of weed. I'm just gonna leave, I guess. And then they pay you in 2 weeks. But some of those times the companies wouldn't, and there was like a whole bunch of penalties and shit that would go with it, which, yay.
But how's that really enforceable with it being semi-legal?
Well, that's the weird, like that's the strange thing about California weed is like it's not federal, it's state. So it's not super enforceable, which is why a lot of those shops, like some shady shit would happen. Like you would drop off a drop at a shop, and then 2 weeks later you come back and the shop would be a different name because it would have gotten bought out. You'd be like, oh, you owe us this much. And they'd be like, we don't have that product. It went with the owners. Where are the owners? They'd be like, we don't know.
Not our problem.
And then you look at the shelf and be like, that's our product. They'd be like, oh, we don't know how we got that. Like, this seems legit. Cool. That's why it was weird going from black market cannabis to like legal cannabis, and it was like almost sketchier. It's like,
well, because you had a bunch of the black market people going into legal too.
yeah. But even in black market, I would walk back door to dispensaries with like 3 turkey bags of weed. Be like, here are your 3 pounds. Thank you for the $7,000. I will see you in a month for my next harvest. And it was like that simple. But then as soon as it was legal, it was like all these weird loopholes and people just doing weird shit.
Well, I can only imagine like if you push too hard on some of those dispensaries, it'd be like, so you want your money, huh?
Yeah. That's not a fun area to be in.
Nope.
That was the one thing with like dealing. Like I worked in the black market for a long time, and there was only one time that I ever sold weed to someone, and there were like guns involved, and I was like, I'm never selling that amount again. I drove to Palmdale with 4 pounds of weed, and luckily everything went fine. But like, I remember getting there and being like, I have nothing. Like, I don't even have a knife with me, and there's just like dudes with Glocks and pistols everywhere, and it was just like, please don't shoot me, give me. And then they handed me the money, and I was like, run. Like, get out of here. I can't believe that actually just happened. But after that, I was like, I'm not selling more than a pound to a person ever again because that's fucking terrifying.
But wouldn't it be worse to die over a pound?
Yeah, but I feel like people wouldn't like 4 pounds is like 10 grand. So like when I was pulling up with that, it was like, that's a bigger amount of money that someone could just fuck me over. A pound selling it to like the homie who's going to break it down was like not as sketchy. Sometimes they'd be like, here's my fucking wad of ones. And you're like, okay, bud, thanks. But
I don't know, man. People get desperate. People fucking kill people over stupid shit.
that's true. That is true. Luckily, I never had any bad run-ins with that, but that was the last time I sold 4 pounds at once. I was like, not again.
Lucky, I hate to break to you. That's how you ended up here in hell.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
The deal went bad.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah, I just wasn't conscious of it. It happened so fast.
Yeah.
But hell for the last 2 years of doing porn, I don't know if this is hell. This is pretty dope if it is.
Oh, so you think.
It only gets worse from here. The sounding needles hit the table.
So many cysts. So many cysts.
Oh my God, that would be my actual hell. It's just waking up every day with another fucking cyst on my dick. Holy shit.
Just wake up every morning to Riggs being like, good morning.
Yeah, I'd be like, ah! Horrible PTSD.
It's not all glamorous, folks. Shit happens with your dick.
Not, yeah. Shit happens for real.
Well, that too. You just showered off.
Yeah. Shit definitely happens. Ooh. And I mean, luckily, I'm like pretty desensitized to that because I've like spent a lot of time with like animals and kids. But like, yeah, just poop in general.
Okay, like
I have 2 dogs. Sometimes when we're gone for a while, they poop in the house. I also grew up like taking care because I'm the oldest of all my cousins. So all my cousins had kids. So I was like that 8-year-old that was changing diapers.
okay, because it was just a weird segue to talk about then going to animals and kids.
Oh yeah, that's talking about perfect segue.
Yeah,
oh my God, we're definitely gonna cancel. Holy shit!
Just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. How did that connect? Because we need to save this real quick. Holy shit!
Good job, Lucky. Good.
Saved it. No, I've just had a lot of jobs with like working with kids and like coaching kids and stuff like that, which is weird that I now work in porn. But hopefully none of those parents recognize me. If they do, they're already in an interesting situation to be on Pornhub in the first place. So
Who's not on Pornhub though?
moms in Maine.
I doubt that. They're probably very sex deprived.
Yeah, they have the fucking golden profiles, like most viewers or most viewed videos.
Maine's a weird place.
I actually love Maine, but it is a weird fucking place because like the state of Maine is huge. Look at a map. The state of Maine is big. And when you get past like a Gunkwit, it's basically Canada. You're basically just in Canada, you know? So like everything in Portland is cool. As soon as you get outside of that, it starts to get real country-like. But it's like northern country, which is different.
Or southern Canada.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's the same type of, you know, like farmland, but like, luckily, like, it's not quite like the South in the sense of like people's opinions and stuff, but it's still very country, which is weird coming from like Boston and very city-like places.
Oh yeah, I've been to Maine, and it was my first experience there was pretty weird. Like,
yeah, what happened?
Well, because I was working for an armored car company at the time.
Okay,
that's why I was in Boston.
Fuck yeah.
And I get off the plane in Boston. They're like, "Hey, there's an ATM broken in Maine. Can you go take care of it?" I'm like, "I just got off the plane. I'm in a Motorhead t-shirt. Like, I just made it to the base in Needham. I'm in a Motorhead t-shirt and like jeans. And one of the bosses is just like, "Can you go take care of it?" I'm like, "My uniform's like not even. Like, just put on your badge and go." So I throw on my work ID. I'm like in a company jacket, my work ID, a Motorhead t-shirt and jeans, and a gun on my hip. And just drive up to this gas station
Just
and
looking like a gangster.
drive up to this gas station in rural fucking Maine. Just walk into the gas station, gun on my hip, like
No one's gonna give a shit.
like, hey, here to fix the ATM. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Open the ATM, fix the ATM, go about my day. But no one even bat an eye at this dude, me, gun on my hip, Motorhead t-shirt, like,
Dude,
just opening the safe.
I'm saying, like, so growing up in Boston, there's basically no gun license for anyone to own a gun other than like a police officer.
Oh, I know.
Like, Boston is very strict with their guns. But then you go up to like New Hampshire, that you can fucking do whatever you want with a gun. Same thing like Vermont and Maine. So it's like such a weird contrast between those two places to just be in like this very, not conservative, but like very blue city and then drive outside of that and be like, holy shit.
I mean, Chicago's the same way. Like,
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Indiana, like, most of the illegal guns in Chicago come from Indiana.
Yeah.
And it's very similar. But Boston's even worse, like, because part of the reason I was up there is the company I was working for got the Citizens Bank account. And they didn't have enough staff to cover Citizens because you know how fucking big Citizens is up there. So we have all these new hires who aren't licensed to have guns yet. So we're putting them on the trucks driving with no guns.
Just put a Nerf gun and paint it black. Like,
But
just for the intimidation.
it's just like, they put me on a truck with a guy with no gun. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do here if, like,
Well, and especially like you're in Maine where everyone has a gun, where it's just like, what do you do?
well, I mean, I was all over Boston too. Like,
Yeah.
I was there for a couple months and like, I worked all of Boston, most of Southern Mass, part of Rhode Island, bunch of New Hampshire,
Oh, yeah.
like the whole fucking area, all the way to P-Town at one point, like just all over the fucking place. And it's just like, oh, this is really dumb.
Yeah.
This is all really, really fucking dumb.
Yeah. I do love Mass, but yeah, it's got some interesting laws and viewpoints.
Well, and I'm sure people want to come to this podcast to hear about gun control shit, but it's the individual states having gun laws, like individual gun laws, is just so fucking stupid to me. It's like,
Yeah. And I mean, I've always, going back to fucking cannabis, like I've always thought it was really weird to have like state sanctioned laws and then federal laws. Cause like you can have a medical card for cannabis somewhere where you require it for your glaucoma, but then you drive into another state and you get detained for your medicine.
or even the federal government could detain you in California. Like,
Yeah,
there were definitely points where like the feds shut down some dispensaries
Yep.
that were perfectly legal by California law.
Yep. That was a weird period. Like I remember right around 2019, because I started working in legal cannabis, like I was learning underneath this kid named Dustin, who was an amazing dude. Shout out Dustin. He was teaching me everything just about like how metric worked, how you sell weed like legally to these different shops and stuff. And I remember getting out of the car with him when I was like shadowing him one day, and we were walking to this dispensary, and in between he was like, there's a trap shop right here. And we turned the corner and they were lining people out of it. There were cops pulling people out of the shop. And we both were like, we had 2 briefcases full of like sample products, and we just walked past them like, we're fine. Don't worry about us. Like we're literally doing the same thing, but we have a piece of paper that says it's okay. So
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. How did you get into cannabis anyways?
Well, so that's actually how I came out to California originally. So I was always like a big cannabis enthusiast. I went to college in Maine. I got my medical card when I was 21. I was literally the youngest person in the state of Maine with a medical card, which was really cool because there was only one dispensary in all of Maine. And I'd walk in there and everyone in there was like 60 to 70. And I was some 21-year-old kid buying weed. So they all knew me. I was in there every single day because I was buying and selling all that weed to everyone in my college, obviously. But like, I started there, and because I had my medical card in Maine, what they allowed you at that period of time, because I got a caregiver's license, they allowed me to grow 6 plants. And one of my really good friends, James Wheeler, who passed away, RIP, we love you, James, he taught me everything I know about weed. And he was environmental or natural science major at SMCC. And so he had his own little grow where he had 6 plants, and I had my own little grow, and we would like transfer information and talk about it a bunch. And then one of my friends from high school moved out to California and started growing weed. And he and I started talking about it, just like exchanging ideas for like how to grow different techniques and stuff. And once I graduated, I was like, I don't want to be in the East Coast anymore. And he was like, come grow with me out in California. So I bought it. Me and my dad went halves on a car when I graduated. That was my graduation gift. And like 3 days after I graduated, I drove to California with my little brother just because I needed the companion. Got out here and started growing weed, like very illegally, but
Just dropped him in WeHo and said, hey, thanks for coming with.
literally. Well, so at the time he wasn't out of the closet yet. Like he hadn't totally figured himself out, but he got a job working at a frozen yogurt place in WeHo. And he would come back from work and he'd be like, these guys were like hitting on me at work today. And I'm like, is today the day you're going to admit it? No, it's not. Okay, it's fine. Because like everyone knew. My whole family knew. And then one day finally he was like, you know, like I like guys. And it was like, cool, we knew. And he was pissed. He was like, I wanted like an aha moment of you being like, really? But like, even called my dad, and my dad was like, yeah. And like, what's your point? We knew. Like this whole time we knew, but yeah. So he was very happy that first summer working in WeHo at a yogurt shop.
I can imagine coming out of the closet in the Northeast, probably not so easy.
Yeah. And I mean, so he was at college in Maine, and in Florida at the time. He went to Eckerd. So like I feel like he was discovering himself there. And then, because I graduated 2 years before him, after I graduated, I pulled him out there like his sophomore summer going into junior year. And he definitely like discovered himself during that period for sure. But I remember we got out here with the first day we got to California. This is like 2014. So like extracts were just on the rise. Everyone was starting to dab, which was
God, I remember that.
Oh yeah. So we got to California. My buddy, who's a big grower, big dab enthusiast, was like, "Oh, you have to try all this wax. Like Matt Rise is this really great extract artist who makes really good wax. You got to try it." So I was like, "Sure," and I tried it. It was really fucking good. And then we like peer pressured my brother into taking his first dab. This is after like a 12-hour car ride from like Utah or wherever we came in from. He took a dab, passed it on the couch for like 12 hours. Woke up the next morning, was like, I need to go to the gym. And went to the gym. And then that's how he like met all of his friends in WeHo, was like that day, which is really funny. But yeah, I just remember giving him that dab and him coughing, laying down on the couch, and then the next morning waking up and him still being on the couch and being like, "You okay, buddy?" Because like I have a lot of friends that love to get people like excessively stoned. That's the worst feeling in the world. Like if you're coming into weed and someone gets you way too high, you're never gonna like that. So like I always want to like introduce people slowly to it so they like it. But my friends were not that way. Like that was the era of ninja dabbing, where like you would give someone a dab. I don't know if you guys know how dabs work, but there's like a little, you call it a nail, but like either a titanium or a quartz piece that you heat up, and then you drop the concentrate on there and it evaporates. But what people would do is they would give you your dab, you drop it on there, and they would have a little balled up piece of wax run up and drop it on the nail also. And once it's on there, you can't not smoke it. It's already evaporating.
Right.
So you would ninja dab people and get them way more stoned than they planned. And it was like a funny concept, but so many times I would see kids at parties just like they can't even function because they're so stoned. And it's like, dude, I feel so bad because I love cannabis and I love what it can do for people. And like what you're experiencing right now is not the good way to experience it.
No, definitely not. I mean, and as a fucking teenager, as a child, like that shit's funny.
Yeah.
As an adult, it's just like, you're such a dick.
Yeah, you're an asshole. Like one, that just costs you $20 to be an asshole. And two, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's just like people that'll like fuck with you while you're tripping. It's just like,
yeah, I hate it.
Are you 12? Like,
yeah. If you've got like some light gloves, do that shit in my face. If you're just fucking with me, get away from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
people doing the,
yeah.
It's like,
fuck that.
No.
Yeah. We're here to have fun, man.
Right. Just have a good time.
Yeah.
Don't you fuck with people like that? Especially like if they're not experienced, it could really go sideways.
And I feel like that's almost the same energy as like the hecklers, where they're like, I know you're having experience, but I'm going to change my experience. So I'm having more fun than you are in this moment. It's like, oh, it's kind of mean.
It's selfish.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, ninja dabbing. Good times and horrible times. I loved when people would try to ninja dab me because I've always had a disgusting tolerance. And that's not a flex. It's just a fucking sad reality. And so people would like throw an extra dab on there and like try and get me to fucking cough and stuff. And I'd be like, thank you for the $20 of wax. You know, like you tried, but it's futile effort.
I would be dead.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking dead.
Well, the crazy thing now, like this is probably the least I've smoked weed in my adult life. Because now I live in a house in Big Bear where I love my landlords, but the one rule they had is like, don't smoke weed in the house. And every other apartment I've ever had, I'm like, fuck that. But like this place, because they're nice, I was like, you know what? We have a backyard. I'll smoke in the backyard. But because of that, it also snows. I'll take like a hit a day. So my tolerance has gone way down. So I'll like be at the skate park hanging with homies and they'll be like, oh, let's smoke a joint. I'll take 3 hits on it and we'll go to skate. And I'm like, I'm not going to skate right now. I'll take a second. Like, holy shit.
Oh, that's why you didn't want to smoke before we got on.
Yeah, my tolerance is shit now. And I was going to smoke that joint on the way down this morning and didn't. So that would be the first weed I had today and I would have been space shot.
It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate that you decided that you want to be coherent for the show.
At least the intro.
Exactly. Yeah. Hour 2. Well, people get drunk in hour 2.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're here for.
People are just, huh? What?
Shirt's coming off. No, I can't. It's got the brand on it. Shout out Mud Smoke, my artistic brand. I actually went to school for pottery, and now I have a little company, and I make pots on a pottery wheel. It's a weird thing for a porn star to do, but And
Is it
the ghost references I get for it all the time. They're like, you ever seen the movie Ghost? You ever seen the movie Ghost? I'm like, obviously I've seen that fucking movie. But they're like, you should make a scene out of that. I'm like, thank you for the 1,000th fucking suggestion for that. Maybe we'll get to it.
Should we make a twist of it and fuck Whoopi?
Yes. Just change the whole storyline. Fuck it.
Like, I don't believe in ghosts and just fuck Whoopi.
Yeah. Ghosts aren't real. Who would play Whoopi?
I don't know.
Just get her herself. Fuck it. She's still alive, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, she could probably use some dick. Wait a minute, did she even like dudes?
That's a good question. I remember her as the mom in not the Sandlot. What was that movie about the kids? The He-Man Woman Haters Club. What movie was that?
I don't know.
Oh, you're a movie buff.
Fuck. Oh my god.
You do know.
I'm spacing it. Oh no, Whoopi's dating a dude who's 40 years younger than her.
So how old is Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh no, sorry, I misread that. The host revealed that she once dated a man 40 years her senior. Never mind. Oh,
okay.
I just assumed when the headline was Whoopi defends 40-year age gap with ex, I just assumed it was like
the other way. Yeah,
she's like, I'm rich and famous. Yeah, 20-year-old dick.
Fuck yeah. I mean, if we're getting rich for anything, it's for that 20-year-old dick. That's what I'm here for.
You're here for that 20-year-old dick?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah,
I'm not here to judge.
Dude, shout out to all the 20-year-old male talents out there that somehow have a good brain in their head that allows them to do this job. Because if I started this at 21, I would have gone fucking insane.
Oh, give them time.
Yeah, and some of them seem pretty grounded, but some of them I'm like, I'm just going to track your progress.
Give them time.
Yeah.
Give them time.
I'm very glad that I came in when I did. I started like right after my 30th birthday, and I was like, I still look 18, so I think we're in a sweet spot right now.
So hats off to you guys. Because like, if you can do it natural, like, they're just wired different. Like,
yeah. Well, I was literally talking to Stevie about that today. I was like, I feel bad for guys that like come into the industry, whether it's OnlyFans or mainstream, and then they realize that it's not something that they're fully capable of, and then they like feel like less of a man because of it. It's like, dude, you are more sane than the rest of us to not be able to do this job. Like, if you can do this job, I'm like, I hate for this. There's something wrong with you as a male talent. Like, if you are a male talent and you can function well in this job, you are not all here. And that's okay for you. But like, if you can't do it, don't feel bad.
Okay, if I told you right now, get hard, could you do it?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, we're not going to.
I mean, without my hands, I don't think so. I don't know if I could, what's his name? What's that dude's name from that movie? Fuck. Was it, it's the movie with Seth Rogen where his neighbors are college students. It's fucking James Franco's little brother.
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Yeah.
I said the fucking name. But he like, his whole character persona, he like get hard just immediately. He'd be a good male talent. But can you come immediately? That's a whole different story.
And there's nothing wrong with fucking failure. It happens in real life. In real life,
like that's what I was trying to get to. Is like, if you can't do this job as a guy, that doesn't mean that you're any lesser. It means that you're probably more than the rest of us. Just being honest. Like, I don't know how I do this job. I think it's because I have a really bad memory. So I can like shoot a scene, walk away, and be like, did that actually happen? No, we're good. Continue. It's great. Smoke more weed. You'll have a terrible memory.
No. No. Don't need to do that. I don't need yet another vice, one that I'm not very good at.
Yeah.
Okay. I also don't want your job. I've never wanted your job.
I never wanted my job. I dated a performer for 2 years and was like, I don't want to do that. I was living with a male talent and was like, that's fucking insane. And then COVID happened, and then I stopped working in cannabis. And then one thing, it was like, I had the babyest steps into this industry. Like, COVID happened. My ex was shooting OnlyFans stuff. I started shooting her solos, and then we shot POV. And then we put it on a tripod and shot. And then a company outsourced to us to have us shoot, I think it was Team Skeet, had us like shoot something for them with like our own premise and stuff. So I like wrote this whole script. We made the movie. I filmed it, edited it, and turned it in. And then it won a creative award of some kind. And then after that, I started a Twitter page, and I started getting messages like, who do I book you through? And I was like, I don't have a job right now. It's COVID, like kind of the end of COVID. I was like, through this guy, I guess. And then I just found my way onto sets. It was like my first scene was like, what's it called? VR. So it was like, I was just like this for the whole thing and shot the scene. And then the next one was like a boy, girl. And the next one was boy, girl, girl. And it just like slowly built. Like, it wasn't just like you dove in the deep end. It was like baby steps the whole way there. And then before I knew it, I was like, I guess I'm shooting mainstream porn. This is my job now. I guess I'll start an LLC. Like, I don't fucking know. And now we're here.
You ever think about going back to cannabis? Or
Actually, yeah. So when I left cannabis, one of my best friends in California, Nate, the fucking homie, shout out Nate. He at the time was doing delivery for a dispensary. And part of my job, I was a brand ambassador manager for this company, Lowell Farms, a pre-roll company, where I basically hired people and trained them to go into shops and like give demos of our product. And so one day I was just like stopping by a shop that I'd been to a million times. And this girl that was a bud tender there who I knew pretty well was like, hey, like you need to meet my boyfriend. And I was like, cool. Yeah. Like I'll meet this dude. We ended up hanging out. We have the exact same taste in music. We play all the same video games. He knows more about cannabis than me, which like I was a fucking weed nerd, still am. And this dude schooled me. And so at the time he was doing delivery stuff because to get into the industry, like you needed an open door. And I had just quit and was doing OnlyFans stuff and was being approached by a couple companies for positions. And I was like, you know what? I'm not interested, but my friend is very qualified. And so now he's been working in cannabis. I kind of let him in the door. And now he's the head of sales in the whole SoCal district for a couple different companies. And I'd actually talked to him recently and he was like, yeah, I think he manages like 250 dispensaries. And he was like, if you ever want, dude, I can like give you like 10 or 20 easy shops. You can sell them $50K a product a month and make 2% off of that. And I was like, maybe I'll come back. For me, it was hard in California because I love like the communal aspect of cannabis. Like how, like that's how I made most of my friends in high school. I was a very antisocial kid. And through smoking weed, I like met a lot of people and like got to know people. It also got me out of my shell so I could talk to people more. But then coming out to California when it just became like, oh, weed's not communal. It's about like what rappers endorsing your cannabis product and stuff. I was like, this is kind of gross. And
so corporate.
So corporate. And so I kind of started to distance myself from it. But since 2019, it's kind of gone back that direction where a lot of those companies have kind of been weeded out. And it's more about like the value of the product now more than anything. So I've thought about it a little bit. Especially now that I like have a small platform, I could like kind of do something with it.
You could be the rapper.
I'm the rapper. Yeah, fuck a weed rapper company. Weed porn, bro.
I think it's been done.
Nugs. I'm sure it has. I'm sure some girl hasn't. Dude, but that'd be sick if you made your whole like the whole company would just be like you just grow sativas, which have really long nodes, and you just make them look like dicks. You just put them in a jar and it's just dickweed. But that sounds like it would be bad. Cockweed?
Throbbing weed.
Throbbing weed. Dude, that's way better.
Yo, taste my sticky icky.
Oh my God, that's sticky purple. Fuck.
That throbbing sticky purple.
Every bottle has like little veins on the outside of it.
Oh.
That'd be kind of gross.
This weed will make you squirt.
Dude, that'd be a sweet guarantee. I feel like you could find some terpenes and stuff like that that definitely like induce some type of like horniness experience, you know?
Well, that was going to make your mouth salivate.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mouth squirts.
Mouth squirts, yeah.
That's a thing.
That sounds like a candy company. Mouth squirts.
Just all these business ideas happening.
Dude, that's what we're here for.
Money. This is an entrepreneurial podcast, didn't you know?
Yeah, you guys didn't know? We just talk about weed and porn and how to make money out of it.
Well, yeah, no one was doing any of this shit for free.
For real. Like, at the end of the day, like that's the sad reality is like you get on set, like you're not there to have wonderful sex with a female talent as pretty as she is. You're there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. Sorry. Sorry if that ruins it for any of the viewers out there, but
your favorite porn star does not want every dick she's ever seen.
Yeah. Like all of those dicks that went inside of her, she was paid for. Just the truth.
Some of those people she can't stand in real life.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun reality. Is like how many times you work with someone that you're like, that was great, and you turn around and you're like, oh my God. But I love all of you. You guys are all amazing. Seriously.
Please poke me. Well, then, but that's just the nature of work. Like, no matter what your job is, you're going to have some coworkers you don't vibe with.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes. I mean, having worked in many cannabis industries, with which you'd think would be full of a bunch of hippies and wonderful people. No, I've definitely had coworkers that I'm like, fuck that dude.
Yeah, and just in this industry, sometimes you literally have to.
Yeah, I'm going to fuck that dude or that girl.
Yeah, I'm not here to judge.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. I'm sure there's some days where just like, you see the call sheet, like, okay, gonna be a long day.
Yep. And honestly, like the way that it goes these days, like I have an easier time when I see the call sheet and it's like a MILF that's been doing it for 10 years. Because I'm like, we're gonna fucking vibe. She's gonna be cool. It's gonna be an easy day. We're both gonna go home. Versus like, and this is no hate to anyone like new, but seeing like some like 22-year-old girl in the call sheet that I've never heard of before, I'm like, There's a shot in the dark. I hope this is good and not terrible, but we never know, you know?
Yeah. I know that pain too.
Yeah. And for someone who's really shy, I don't match well with a lot of the egos in this industry. So I'm just like, I'll be over here.
And the egos are wildly out of control. Like before we got on there, we were talking about like cool mainstream celebrities. It's just like these people are legitimately famous and very cool.
Yeah.
And like, not to knock the industry, but it's just like in the tiers of fucking fame.
I'm sorry, but yeah, if you've got 1 million followers and you're a porn person, like you are not the same as someone who's like a mainstream celebrity, regardless of the following. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like a lot of people take social media as like a badge. They're like 1 million followers, you know? And it's like at the end of the day, like, I don't know if you're on TikTok very much, but like, I don't know if you've seen the dudes Sketch and Jinxie. They're two streamers, two Twitch streamers that are blowing up right now. Two of the funniest dudes ever. What's up, brother? They're super funny. And I mean, check out their Twitter following and stuff. They've got like 20,000 followers, but they're like the most famous streamers right now. So it's like social media at the end of the day, when it comes to like grand scheme of like who knows you. I mean, you've got 1 million people who know you. That's awesome. But like people out there who have 1,000 followers might have 10 million people who know them because they're just doing more than you in some sense.
Well, and also of those 1 million people that follow you, how many of them are dead accounts? How many of them are real people?
Yeah.
How many of them are bots? Like
Exactly.
You know, how much are actually people engaging with you, and you know, how many of those were bought in some cases?
Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, a lot of those too, like no hate, but I feel like the reason that this is like psychological bullshit, but like the reason that guys follow attractive women on social media is because somewhere deep down in their psyche, they think they're going to like that girl's photo. She's going to see the notification, go to their profile, be like, ooh, he's handsome. Follow him and DM him. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's never happened.
A, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
First,
just the reality.
And B, I found this out the hard way. Like when the podcast account doesn't have a ton of followers in the first place, but occasionally some of the clips go really fucking viral.
Yeah.
And
I've seen.
And it's like, I literally don't know when legitimate people follow me because there's so many fucking notifications.
Yep.
That it's just like, literally I've had real performers accounts like comment on stuff and like, oh, I'm not following them. Fuck, and they're following. Oops.
Oh shit, my bad.
My bad. Because it just was like,
well, it's just there's so many of us now. I was actually showing Stevie this like recently. I was just Googling it. Like the number of quote unquote mainstream porn performers in like the 80s versus 90s versus 2000s versus 2010 and now is like exponentially different. Like you look back to the 80s and 90s and there's like a handful of people that were killing it. And then you get to the 2000s and beyond and that number gets so much bigger so quickly.
Well, and it's wild because there's less studio work being shot.
Yep. But there's more people with studios in their bedrooms and shit just because of the access to everything online, OnlyFans and everything.
I mean, what we're doing right now 20 years ago would have been so fucking expensive to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like what we were doing right now, 2 fucking decent cameras, a decent recorder, quality mics.
And a quality male talent. I'm just kidding.
Where?
Good question. Where? Did Nathan come in the room somewhere?
He's behind the curtain still.
And there he is.
His dick comes out. In post, I'm just going to edit it a dick. No, that'll get me kicked right the fuck on YouTube.
Just one.
Nathan, I just need you to send me some footage of your cock coming out of the curtain.
Yeah, profile view, preferably.
Just profile view your cock. Like
and the funny thing is, I feel like he wouldn't even question it.
No,
he like, got you.
He would know that I'm just doing something stupid with it. He knows me well enough for that. Matt's going to be doing something really fucking dumb. He'll be here for it. But yeah, the barrier of entry for all of this has come down so fucking low. As you were saying before we got on air, or you might have said it on there, it's like you're shooting with like fucking 5 phones.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I shoot, I shouldn't admit this, but like I shoot with like iPhones and Samsungs and I use like Amazon lights that probably, my whole light kit probably cost me $300. That 10, 20 years ago, totally different situation.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to set up the lights myself, you know? Like now it's just a switch and I turn it up and call it a day. But
yeah, all this stuff would have been wildly out of, because something that could shoot continuously, even DSLRs a couple generations back couldn't shoot continuously for any length of time until you got into cine cams. And those bodies were fucking expensive.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's where I had a roommate back in the day who was like a key grip for music videos and stuff like that. And he started building a kit just to rent it because gear is so fucking expensive, dude. Like the first thing he bought was like a bunch of those, like the set radios They're like from the early 2000s, those like satellite radios or whatever. And you rent them out for like $50 a day because no one wants to fucking buy that shit, you know? But now you can get all this shit on Amazon. So everyone has their own gear.
It's wild. Buddy of mine, when I first moved to LA, like I was actually still living in Vegas. So this is like 2010, 2011. Bought a fucking red kit. Like he financed the whole fucking red kit. And he would rent it out and get himself on site. He'd be like, I come free as the DP with this rental.
Oh, yeah. It
was like, it's a ballsy play, but it worked out great for him.
Yeah.
He still fucking is working.
Yeah.
But at the time, like the idea of like buying a $40,000 camera.
It's insane investment.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out for him, but like how many people could that have backfired for?
Yeah. Plenty. Well, same thing. Like this roommate he was doing this like 7 years ago or so. So like he was part of a grip company that like had a truck full of lights and like that's how they got work. But now, I mean, you can rent lights, you can buy them. These are nice looking lights.
Yeah.
Ballasts on them and stuff.
Yeah. Well, these lights are not cheap.
Yeah. I can imagine. That's the one thing that transferred from cannabis. Was seeing lights. I was like, I know what that thing is. Oh, that's funny. Basically the same thing.
Yeah, I've also probably spent way too much money on production for a podcast.
But this is dope. This is really, really dope.
But it's also one of these things where like I do work on sets sometimes, and this is like also the kit I can bring with me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that diversifies your work use. You know, you can shoot here, you can shoot wherever.
It's like, oh, do you need me to like actually shoot a scene? I can do that too. I have everything.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, that's the number of times now that I like stumble upon some male or female content creator, like just OnlyFans, ManyVids, whatever. And like I see a little clip of theirs and I'm like, holy shit, that looks good. Like, I don't even know who this person is. And their fucking content looks better than mine. And I need to up my shit because wow. Like it's awesome. Like it's really cool how the creators are able to do all of this stuff themselves now, you know, like it's awesome.
Really, the evolution. Now, if there was just not fucking discrimination in banking and shit like that, where people could easily set up their own sites and shit like that, where they didn't have to rely on OF.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like we're getting to that point, you know, like, you don't think so?
I think Visa and MasterCard are still going to fuck.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because they've been connecting back to the cannabis industry because they're federally controlled. They've been fucking the cannabis industry for the last however long, which is funny because they like want so badly to get into it so that they can fucking take whatever percentage they want from every card transaction. But like, bitch, it's still not federally legal.
I've heard from some cannabis growers like they don't want to go federally legal because the minute it does, you got Big Tobacco and Walmart getting involved too.
Fucking it. Yeah. I mean, it already is at that point. Like the number of there are multiple breweries that have gotten into PBR does weed stuff now, which like my dad being from the Milwaukee area, I was like, PBR was my shit growing up. So like seeing that, I was like, what the fuck? All these companies are diving into it. And yeah, as soon as it goes federal, it's going to be a totally different situation.
Yeah, because you can't compete with Big Tobacco. Yeah. Big Tobacco owns craft.
Yeah. You're fucked.
Yeah. Like that's just, I don't care how cannabis rich you fucking are.
Yeah.
You're not fucking with like, RJ Reynolds or fucking, Philip Morris. It's just like, you can't.
Because they're in everyone's fucking pocket. So like they can do whatever they want, you know? Like,
well, and because they've diversified so long ago, they own so many food brands. They own so much shit. Like, RJ Reynolds, like, what do they control? They own, well, the tobacco company. The tobacco company is a bunch of brands, but like, where's their? Oh yeah, they own Nabisco.
Fuck
yeah,
Jesus.
They've owned Nabisco since 1985.
Holy shit! So that's not a recent acquisition. That's been there for a minute.
There's a bunch of other shit like that they own, but it's just
like I remember back in like the days of Tumblr, which is dating me a little bit, seeing like those rendered images of like Marlboro greens.
Yeah.
And as like a teen being like, holy shit, that's so cool. And as an adult being like, no, like pump the fucking brakes. If Marlboro starts doing cannabis stuff, I'm not touching it. It's just the way that it goes.
Yeah, it's
because unfortunately, like what happened in 2019 is like the reason that California cannabis was so amazing before 2019 is because we had all these artisanal hippie ass farmers growing incredible weed and extracting incredible extracts. And then 2019 came in and they needed a $500,000 license to run their tiny little grow. and they closed fucking shop, or they went to a different state, or they fucking started selling black market. So all of that amazing stuff disappeared, and you got the PBR of weed, which was just like super standardized, whatever the fuck. And all of that disappeared, which is so sad. Like that's what really got me disheartened from the cannabis industry, was like watching good weed disappear and be replaced by garbage, mass-produced, super dry, fucking trash weed. And that's California now. Like I was back in Massachusetts like for Christmas, and I got some weed at the dispensary there and was like, California dropped the ball, man. Like, how are these guys growing indoor better out here in Massachusetts than the shit you can get in California? Like, it's crazy how it's changed.
Well, unfortunately, that's just part of the nanny state of California.
Yeah.
They just are like, we're going to meddle a little bit. And I understand a lot of it's very well-meaning, but the execution ends up being garbage.
That's the problem. It's like, even if it's super well-intentioned, like the actual execution for most things, at least in the cannabis industry, was like really sad circa 2019.
And it's just everything. Like AB5. Look at how much AB5 fucked up. Like AB5 super well meaning. Like, hey, we want to protect workers' rights. Yeah. We want these people to not be taken advantage of as being independent contractors. And then fucked everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucked everything.
California. We love you and hate you. Again, that's why I'm like, I love this state and I hate this state. I lived here 10 years and there's many things I love about it, and there's plenty of things I'm very opinionated about because of it.
I just keep telling myself there's no perfect place.
Yeah. And well, that's the sad reality, is like, even with all the drawbacks, I'd rather live in California than anywhere else.
Yeah. Like, where else would you go?
Well, skate parks alone, where the fuck would I go? Like, dude, skating Pedlo skate park. I grew up watching videos of people skate that park, and now I skated like almost every day. Now that I live in Big Bear, less, but like, I can't leave because of that. Like, where would I go, dude? Like,
I don't know. You could get wealthy and make your own park.
That's just expensive. But I mean, that would be awesome. That's one thing I've told Stevie a million times. Is I'm like, the minute that we buy a house, there's a half pipe in the backyard. Deal with it. Like, it's just, and she's like, the dogs will shit on it. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll keep it clean. That half pipe is going to be my home. Always wanted one in my backyard. Oh, yeah, I'm a child. I'm a 32-year-old child. It's fine.
I mean, most people are. They just don't admit it.
Yeah. Throwing his name in here again. That's why I love Nathan. We both have the best, I was going to say adult toys, but we have the best adult toys and toys for adults that are not sexual. There you go. I made it there eventually.
You got there. You got there.
Dude, he seriously, the last time I was over at his house, he was like, guess what I just got? I was like, what? He's like, a fucking flamethrower. How many people do you know who own a flamethrower, dude? Legend. I need to let a joint off that. I'll lose all my hair in the process, but it'd be worth it.
Worth it. Absolutely worth it.
No eyebrows. Who needs them? Fuck it.
Whatever. I mean, just contribute to your look.
Yeah, I look even more dirty and skater-like.
It's like fucking just half an eyebrow. Just.
I used to dye half my eyebrow green and red and shit. I have pictures, but one time I went to set for a company because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. And I asked the directors, I was like, because I had an eyebrow pencil because I'm super cool like that. And I was like, do you want me to color this in so it's not green? And they were like, no, we don't care. I was like, okay. I shot the scene. The next day, my agent called me and was like, if you ever show up to set with a fucking dyed eyebrow again, I'm cutting you. And I was like, we're dyeing it back to black then. Yay. So
your response should have been like, you work for me. You're my agent.
Bitch. I wish.
I mean, that's the reality. They do work for you.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, the sad reality, I've been wanting to bleach my hair again for years and I haven't been able to because for some reason, agents tell me not to. So I don't.
Tell them that they work for you and just fucking do it.
Yeah. I had bleached hair for 6 years when I first moved out here.
Fucking do it.
It was literally like the month before I moved to California. I was like, well, if I'm going to live in California, I have to have blonde hair.
Fucking do it. What are they going to do? Drop you?
That's fair. I just signed with a new agency, so what are they going to do right now, huh?
Test your luck.
Yeah.
Call Sandra.
My lucky.
Call Sandra up right now.
Yeah. What's up, Sandra? Do you mind if I have blonde hair?
No, don't tell her. Do you mind? I'm going to have blonde hair. We need to take new pictures.
I need to take 2 pictures anyways, so maybe I'll just do it for that.
Just do it.
Diversify my profile.
Just roll in, blonde hair. Like, yeah, I'm here for my pictures.
Yeah.
Don't even ask for forgiveness, not permission.
That is, I mean, that was my go-to with my parents growing up, so should continue that.
Right?
Agents are basically parents that we pay, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anthony's cool, so.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I do miss my blonde hair. I just like get scared if I bleach it too much, it's going to fall out because that's what everyone fucking says, but.
Everyone's idiots. Just do it.
That's true.
Just do it.
I haven't had it in 2 years. My hair is pretty healthy now, so.
Exactly. And then, do most of your
blonde mustache.
except for right here, do the full Hulk Hogan like NWO fucking Hulk Hogan.
Now, this is like the longest this gets. They always have me shave for fucking shoots and stuff. Because I haven't worked in a month, my pubes are the longest they've been since I was probably a teenager.
Stevie into it?
That's the problem. She loves it. She loves body hair, and I have to shave it because I have to look like a fucking 18-year-old. It's like before scenes, she'll like walk into the bathroom and be like, really? And I'm like, it's not on me. Like if I showed up with a massive bush, the director would be pissed. So I have to do this. And she gets so sad.
So you should start your own imprint of like retro porn.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring back the male bush. Because plenty of girls are doing it. I see plenty of girls with fucking dope ass bush these days. And I love the bush. I'm fucking here for it. You know what I mean? My favorite thing is like grabbing some bush hair and pulling. Just to like pull the clit out a little. Oh my God, I love it. It's the best. You don't have bush. I can't do that. So, but I don't know what you would do with mine. Pull it, reveal the butthole more. That was a great sound.
It's fucking. I'm not an expert in such things. I mean, I don't pull mine.
You're not a pube expert?
I am not.
Oh man.
I have quite a bit of them at times, but I'm not an expert. I'm just.
That'd be another weird t-shirt. Just pube expert. I would love that. Oh my God.
Coming soon to the merch store.
Yes, please. I would buy that shirt. I would
right.
rep that shirt so hard. Pube expert.
But just start your own imprint of retro.
Yeah, fuck it. Bring it back.
Put a filter on like the digital so it looks like fucking film. And I recently, for the first time, watched Debbie Does Dallas.
Yeah?
It's bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched it?
No.
Like, the sex is bad.
Really?
Like, like one of the sex scenes with Debbie, like, they're in Mish, and like, it's like real life sex Mish where he's just on top of her.
Nothing's being seen.
And like, the camera is just like under him.
Yeah.
So it's just like balls penetration, but like,
dude, for some reason that's been like the shot recently. Like I've had a lot of directors be like, can you do the up and over? Which is basically like doggy style, but like tilting it. So it's almost pile driver, but like backwards. And they always get underneath and film. And I'm like, dude, you just have like 90% of your frame right now is my balls and asshole. I guarantee you the viewers don't want to see this, but they get the shot every time and they seem to like it. So,
hey, they're paying you.
Yeah. I can't imagine anyone out there, any like heterosexual male watching that is just like, dude, Lucky's balls and ass are getting me there.
Just all the way.
All the way. Oh yeah, just
slap.
That fucking. Yep. Ooh, we love it. We love that sound.
But yeah, apparently all of Debbie Does Dallas is available on Wikipedia.
Really?
It's in public domain.
Oh fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you can watch the whole movie on Wikipedia.
Holy shit.
And I did because one of my friends wrote a review of it recently.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this sex is shot so bad. Like, just no one's opening up to the camera. It's just like, oh, no. We just filmed two people actually fucking.
Yeah. Just like, it's raw and real. That's a lot of like before I was in porn, because I don't really watch porn much anymore. I like review it because it's like from a professional standpoint now. But like when I used to watch porn, like if I was ever getting into like some kinky stuff, it'd always be like some fucking German or some Czech shit. And that's where I'm like, I don't know if they fully know how to film this, because it'd be like some gnarly, like some peeing stuff, water sports, whatever the fuck. But like the angles, you're like, first of all, you're shooting this in the lowest quality video format I've ever seen. I don't know if it's from the 90s or not, but like, holy shit, this looks bad. But also like, what was that angle? Like I shoot semi-amateur stuff of my own, and I know that that's not the angle that anyone wants to see. But
yeah, I got once we're off air, because I'm not going to play Debbie Does Dallas while we're on something that's going to go on YouTube. But I will show you like,
yeah, I need to see this.
It's just like, what? This is the golden age?
Yeah, it's like turn the audio up because that's what you're going to get off to more than anything.
Yeah, but I don't even know that. Like, it's like no one in the 70s was like apparently really attractive doing this either.
Well, that's another thing that I was talking about recently. If you look back at like some of the most famous porn stars of the 80s and 90s, like it wasn't about them being beautiful. It was about them being able to fuck, you know? Like,
oh, when the late 90s came, they were hot.
And it definitely got to that point. But I feel like for a while it was just about like how good you were at giving or taking dick. And then it got to be who's pretty and whatever. And now it's to a point of like, I don't know. Some very pretty girls who are okay at their jobs and some okay girls that are incredible at their jobs. So all over the place now.
It is, but like in the late 90s, early 2000s, you had like fucking Jenna, you had,
Yeah.
Stormy was making her heyday in those days.
Yeah.
Like there were some people that really like,
Yeah.
were very attractive people.
Yeah.
Having some really like, I remember like as a high school student, seeing some Jenna Jameson scenes where it's just like, oh, every time Jenna's on screen, it really looks like this is the best dick she's ever had.
Yeah.
She's selling it so well.
Well, and I feel like that was it too. Like the performance was so important. Now it's, I mean, I'm not saying that people are phoning it in, but I feel like it's not where it was. There are good scenes, there are bad scenes. Everyone's going to have their day and their off day, but like, I don't know. I just feel like some people now, I'm like, when I work with someone, especially like I've said, like the MILFs, I'm like, you know what you're doing. Versus some other people, I'm like, we tried our best, and hopefully someone enjoys this somewhere. But yeah, there is a certain level of talent with the talent, if that makes sense.
It does. I mean,
and I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm fucking semi-average. Watch my porn. It's great.
It's great for semi-average.
Yeah, it's for semi-average. It's a solid 5.5. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people out there, like I'm a decent performer, but there are people out there that are like built for this. Like, that's fucking, I know plenty of male talents that I'm like, I could never do that. And you guys are fucking hats off to you, because holy shit. Like, you were literally built for this. But
oh yeah, the people who are just like, hey, go fuck that brick wall. And they'll be like, all right, I'm going to go fuck that brick wall.
Pop, boom, done. You're like, how did you do that?
Oh, I didn't get it. Could you pop again? No problem.
That's the craziest to me. We missed the pop. Can you do it again? 30 seconds?
Yep.
Bro, maybe in my 20s. These days, I'm like, I need a 15-minute break at least. Like,
maybe in my 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I still know plenty of people who are like fucking 5 pop a day champs, and good for you guys.
Like, I'm happy if I can get 2 or 3 off in real life, like real life situations. Like the last hookup I did, like the second pop was, the first pop was effort, because it was like, I got booty called at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening. And got there, it was just like, I'm exhausted and like my back kind of hurts. And like, this is already kind of a struggle.
That's, again, the fun reality of like being a male talent is like when you have to separate between like opening up to a camera and there not being a camera, like it's different. It's very different for sure.
Oh yeah, no, as I said, I've never wanted your job. Like if I had to like actually be in some open position for that hookup, I would have just failed.
I'm glad I was a gymnast for years, because that got my hips ready for this shit.
Well, I am just also not in the best shape anymore. So it's just like the many, many years of a sedentary lifestyle and a lot of drinking and, just poor life choices. It's like, oh, fuck. I was in the middle of it. I'm just like, you ever seen those commercials where it's like, check with your doctor to see if you're healthy enough for sex?
Yeah.
I may be experiencing that right now. This is depressing. I'm like, are you having and she thankfully was having a good time. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Thank God. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I was in my head there for a minute. I was like, I'm in physical pain while I'm doing this. And like, as I was about to pop, I got a splitting headache. I'm like, am I dying? Am I about to die inside this girl?
Oh, shit. That's very real, though. Like, the dehydration from that shit is very, very real. Sucks.
Yeah, like I had a splitting headache around my crown right as I was about to pop. I'm like, this has never happened before. Is this how I die?
Yeah, literally. Like, so we live up in the mountains now at 7,000 feet. And I've had, when we first moved up there was like 1 or 2 times that I popped and was like hyperventilating afterwards because I was so tired. And the air is thinner. So like popped and was like, hold on. Like, I'm going to need a second. Holy shit, I'm dying. But I lived. I'm still here.
No.
That's what's important.
That's how you got here.
Damn it, this is fucking hell. That's how I died. How many different ways am I going to die?
It's like Groundhog Day.
1,000 ways to die. Yeah, right? Fuck. Good movie.
Oh, dude, someone should make a porno Groundhog Day where the people just keep dying as fuck they pop.
It's like, that'd actually be kind of funny. Like, one male talent like lives the same day over and over again and like bangs like 4 different girls, and then like the last day, I don't know. I was going to say he like kills himself, but like that's too dark for porn, but...
I mean, you could work out, but like, just get stuck in like some rural city and just like, oh, if I'm going to keep reliving this day over and over again, I'm going to bang everyone here.
Yeah. And then just like, because you could do like, you'd shoot the first day of just like random experiences. And then the second day would be like him walking down the street and like the first wave he had goes after that girl. The next day, like the wave happens and he goes to the cashier and goes for that girl. And like, that'd actually be a good premise.
And then, eventually like he falls in love with one of them.
Dude. Ground hump day.
Done. Why has that not been made?
Right?
There you go.
Bill Murray, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do not look like Bill Murray, but cast me, maybe. I love Bill Murray.
You could just make it your production.
Yeah. Oh, that's the fun thing about owning our own stuff now. Is we
Yeah.
can just do it ourselves.
Just do it yourself.
Yeah. I've been joking about filming Grinders too. Fuck it.
Why not?
Just get a bunch of my skate friends and be like, all right, who wants to be in a porno? That literally happened for how we shot Grinders, because Ricky Greenwood was like, we need some skater stunt doubles. And so I hit up a bunch of my friends and was like, you guys want to be in a porno? They were like, do we have to have sex and get naked? I was like, no, you just have to skateboard. And they were like, yes. Get paid to go skateboard and on film. They were stoked.
See, that reminds me of something that, like, a concept I had for when I was more looking to try to make my own porns. I wanted to make a series of, like, a music porn series. And the plan was, like, the whole setup was, it was all going to be groupie porn. Like,
okay.
But I wanted to use real bands for it. Real musicians, real bands.
Ooh, that would be sick.
And then, like, the stuff is like, oh, I want to get backstage. If, like, a band member was down, tested, whatever, actually use a band member. But if not, like, they'd bang a fucking roadie or a guitar tech.
Yeah. And you could plug anyone in for that. But I feel like a lot of, like, especially like the singers, if you were like, you want to be in a porn? They'd be like, yes. Because I mean, at this point, like, would that even be bad publicity for a band?
Depends on the band, but
yeah, if you're rock or anything that's slightly more adult, like, as long as you're not like a pop star, I feel like it'd be fine.
But also, every scene would actually legitimately have their music in it too,
which would be a great promo for them too. And then you would have the rights to it because they're the one in the fucking scene.
Yeah,
perfect. Shit, I'd watch some rock stars fuck.
Yeah, I actually owned the domain backstagebang.com for quite some time.
That's a fucking dope domain.
And then I just never made it. But yeah, that was an idea I had forever.
And weirdly enough, I feel like there's decent money in domains. Like I bought mudsmoke.com, where you can find my artwork. I bought that domain like 5 years ago, and I just reinstated it. And on GoDaddy or whatever the website, they were like, this domain's worth like $1,300. I was like, bullshit. Who the fuck cares about this website other than me? But like, I feel like, yes, just some domains, like there's probably people out there that just buy and sell domains for a fucking living.
Oh, they do. And like, there's some domains I've been sitting on because I used to get just drunk and buy funny domain names that I thought could be fun porns. Like, I still own quantumload.com because I wanted to make a Quantum Leap porn parody.
Yeah. Quantum Load. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. And because I've said this for years, I think the one thing that porn is really missing is episodic television.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, I hate that I keep plugging fucking Grinders. That was the greatest thing that I've been a part of so far, and it was so much fun. But like, that's kind of what it was. Like, that's what the most of those features are, is like a 4-part series that kind of is released as like a show. You're like following the storyline, sex happens. Following the storyline, sex happens, and like,
yeah, there needs to be more of that.
Yeah, I agree.
But I understand why it doesn't happen, because turnover rates are so fucking bad. Like, if you're like, oh, this performer is going to be our lead, and we're going to shoot this for multiple seasons over the course of multiple years, she just maybe gone.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's true.
But that's why, like, the Quantum Load idea worked, because, Dr. Samantha Beckett, leaps into whoever. So you could have whoever you want as your lead, because that's who she leaps into.
Yeah. It's Doctor Who type shit. Just fill it with.
Well, you've never seen Quantum Leap?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's an old school TV show, but like the plot is,
I've heard of it. I've just never seen it.
The Dr. Sam Beckett, the main character, is leaping through time and space, and he leaps into other people's bodies.
Yeah,
and he rights historical wrongs and makes them right before he could leap onto the next one.
That's a dope premise.
It was a great show.
Yeah.
So like the premise for Quantum Load was writing hookups that once went wrong.
That's perfect. Yo. That's a great idea. Holy shit.
Once again, ideas I've never executed on.
If you ever need male talent.
When I have budget to film my own shit.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it was just shit like that, because I'm like, that could be a fun episodic.
Yeah, that would be sick. And again, the same thing like you said, you fill it with a different person every time, and it would.
Yeah. Like, you just basically need an image of whoever your lead is, because whenever Sam looked in a mirror, he saw the other person's face. So it's just like, you just keep fucking, like, oh, we have the lead in, but we just swap out whoever.
You film whatever you need for that, and then you just, that would be perfect. That's a good idea. What was it? Quantum Load?
Yeah. I still own that domain, actually.
Yeah.
I still own quantumload.com.
Hell yeah. How much was it?
Oh, I got it for $20.
Fuck yeah.
I've had that domain for 10 years.
Hell yeah.
So like, I'm way in the red on it.
That's fucking
It's
dope.
just been sitting there just do.
And I feel like a lot of those porn domains, like, because they're kind of obscure, even though they're like really witty, the internet doesn't figure out that there could be worth something. So they're like, oh yeah, it's just worth $20, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's completely uncamped, and if I ever made something with it, it'd be cool. I think I gave up Backstage Bang. I think I gave that up at some point. Which, hindsight, I probably could have actually sold that one.
Yeah, Backstage Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I checked my GoDaddy account. Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. I just own the Mud Smoke, which is weird that I bought it years ago and now it's like gone up significantly in price. Like, it's not, the name hasn't caught on like crazy, but somehow.
Their estimates are bullshit till someone actually makes you an offer.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like 1,300. Yeah, fucking right. Maybe like the one person who also makes ceramic pipes like me is like trying to buy it out. Fuck this guy.
I'm going to crush him. Fuck Lucky. I'm going to crush him.
For real. Honestly, when I started, they were like, because that's what I did was like right out of college, I wrote my thesis on water pipes, which my college professors hated. But because I was making pipes on a pottery wheel, that was like my big thing because that was right around 2014 where people were making dab rigs and stuff. So I was like making these pipes. I could sell them for a decent bit. I had one other friend at my school that was making pipes, but they're all hand built instead of on a pottery wheel. And there was this other asshole from New York who made pipes too. And we were all talking for a little while. And then he decided that he was the king of pipes and threw us all under the bus. And so we don't fuck with that dude.
How do you even make a pipe on a pottery wheel?
I'll show you. Where's my fucking phone? It's over here.
Well,
so basically, you have to make it in two parts. You make like the vase form, and then you make the down stem for it, which is just like the female piece. And then you can either add a bowl piece to it or make the bowl piece. But the really hard thing about it is clay, when you fire it, it shrinks. And it's like, it shrinks like 1.23% of the size, depending on the clay body. So you, for a 14 millimeter piece, you have to measure it to like 15.62 millimeters so that it'll shrink to the right size, which is a fucking bitch. Just because it's like, it's such a small amount of space to deal with. But I've gotten it down to this 10 years later. I've gotten it down and it works. But yeah, I can show you some of my stuff in a bit.
Yeah. No.
Plug my pipes, yo.
There'll be some show and tell after the show. Like, it's bad podcast to be like, this is the video.
Yeah. Here's my phone.
I mean, we've done it on here before.
Yeah.
It's definitely happened. It's definitely fucking happened.
Yeah.
But career-wise, dude, like adult career-wise, any like ambition, any projects that you got coming up that you want to do besides Grinders too?
I mean, I would love Grinders too, but as of right now, not really. I took a little break. I had some issues with agency and stuff like that, so I switched my agency. And I also, moving to Big Bear, I told everyone, I was like, I'm not quitting. I'm just like moving 2 hours away. And everyone was like, cool, you're quitting. I was like, no. And I still have never been late to a shoot, never failed a shoot, I can proudly say. So even
you were early for this. I was surprised.
Because I have anxiety, so I need to be early to everything. Because I had a soccer coach in high school through middle school and high school who like shaped a lot of my life. And the one thing he would always say is, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, don't bother showing up. So that was ingrained into my life. And I think I've been at least 10 minutes early to every scene I've ever shot, with over 250 scenes.
Good on you. I'm of two minds about that shit. Because on one time, I'm like, no, schedule me my time's valuable too. Schedule me at the time you want me here.
Yeah.
Like, your expectation that I show up early on my time, fuck you.
Yeah. I travel everywhere with like a Nintendo Switch and I play games on my phone. So I'm like, you want me there at 7:00? I'll be there at 6:30 playing games on my phone.
And that's fine. I mean, that's your decision. But like, for someone to get shitty with you because like they expect you, like, no, schedule me at 6:30 if you want me here at 6:30.
Yeah, give me the time. I mean, there was a company for a while that was scheduling me like straight up 4 hours before they ever needed me on set, because they were shooting more like, it was kind of feature like. So I would text the director because I knew him pretty well. And I was like, what time do you actually need me today? And they'd be like, your call time was 10, but let's say 12:30. And I'd be like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't mind showing up early, but if I'm sitting on set for 3 hours and I'm not doing shit, why am I here, man?
Right. Like, you're making a day rate. Your time's fucking valuable.
Yeah. I've got 2 dogs and a girlfriend. Like, I got shit to do.
Hopefully just the girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm not doing the dogs. They just,
they're there.
They require attention and stuff. We've got a pug and a miniature dachshund. They require a lot of attention. I have the tiniest wiener in porn, in case you didn't know. My miniature dachshund. He's a runt of the litter, so he's like 8 pounds. He's probably this big, and he's 8 years old.
Wow.
Tiniest wiener in porn.
That's the tagline for the episode.
Not a lot of male talents would want to claim that as a title, but I got that.
But yeah, like, And I understand as the crew, it's like, well, you want to make sure people get there on time. And like, people are notoriously tardy in this industry.
That's the thing. Like I had a friend that worked for MindGeek for years and he was a PA on and off for them. And that basically was his job, was like wrangling the girls because they'd be like, be there at noon. And the girl would be like, you mean 1 o'clock? And he'd be like, no, like noon. And then he would have to keep them on set because they would get distracted and stuff. But like, I'm very ADHD, but I'm very good at entertaining myself, which is why I bring a Nintendo Switch in my phone to like every set. Like, oh, you don't need me for 2 hours? Animal Crossing, baby. Like,
well, and that's why, like, when I book this, I book it at 7. And like, there's oftentimes like when I saw that your text that you were downstairs, I was still smoking my cigar.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, he's here at 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's a lot of times where it's just like, oh shit, people are on time. Fuck, I'm not.
Well, I also got crazy lucky with parking. Like, I came here early because I dropped Stevie off before I knew parking was crazy. So I circled this block like 4 times and finally saw a Civic leaving, pulled up behind him and was like, I'm just going to wait. Like, there's no way I'm going to give up this spot. And I'm right around the corner, very conveniently.
Good on you.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's...
Parking in Hollywood's always a bitch.
It is. People just need to be better about their time. Because then you don't have to pull bullshit.
When I feel like a lot of times too, like people try and fit so much into their day. And I'm a little lazy where I'm like, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. And that's my day. You know, like I'm not going to fit 7 things in because I'm just not going to stress myself out with that. So my day today was go get tested, go skate, go hang out with Matt.
Easy
3
enough.
things. Yeah.
So yeah, I lie to myself all the time. I'm like, I'm going to get all this done, and then I don't.
Yeah. See, I used to do that all the time. That was basically me all the way through art school. It was like, oh, I'm going to do my 3D project. I'm going to finish my ceramic project and my illustration project. And I would do one of those and then feel miserable about myself. So now I just set very low expectations. And when I surpass them, I feel great.
Yeah, see, I'm a crazy person. And I feel like if I set my expectations lower, I'll get less done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I see that. I feel like my brother's the same way. He's like, I'm going to do 17 things today. And then he does 15 and he's still stoked. And I'm like, good for you.
Oh, I'm not stoked either. I'm just like, I meant to get more fucking done today.
I'm still missing these things.
Well, yeah, like I very much, like I knocked out a client project before you got here early today. I like took some calls for my business and all that shit. And it was just like, I wanted to get my taxes done before you got here. And like, I was like, I'm tired. I want to take a nap. So I took a nap for an hour instead. And like, but I need to get my taxes done.
There's also that level of like what you need to do and like self-preservation. And that's something in this industry. I feel like I watch people burn themselves out regularly because they overschedule, you know? And like, it's one of those things that like you have to respect your like quality time with yourself and not always overschedule. Because especially like LA, I feel like that's just the vibe here. People are just like, oh, I work hard every day. I grind. Then it's like, play some Fortnite, man. Like,
oh yeah, well no. I'm on that. Like I release an episode every fucking week. You're my second recording this week. Plus, I'm editing stuff for other clients, and I have a bunch of other shit going on. Like I still have to finish editing this week's episode for release with Stevie.
Yeah,
actually, at the time of recording.
Shout out Stevie Moon. Stevie Fate. My bad. That was the wrong name. Different person. I'm Lucky Moon, and she is Stevie Fate.
Oh. Don't call her by the wrong name. She's going to be really upset.
That's one way to definitely piss off a girlfriend is calling her the wrong name.
Yeah. Stevie Fate's going to be real upset with you.
Dude, real talk. Her real name is very similar to my ex-girlfriend's real name. And both, on one occasion, my mom and my dad have called her the previous girlfriend's name. Oof. And both times I'm like, and they immediately correct it. But it's like, don't call her the wrong name. Don't call her the wrong name. Don't do it. But their names are very similar. Like they're real names. So that's why it's like, I see how you did that, but also don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Mom and Dad, you're fucking up here real bad.
You're ruining my relationship, Mom and Dad. No, they love her. She's fucking great.
But like back on the grind front, like,
yeah.
No, I 100% get that. Like, yeah, I'm historically, my whole fucking life, I've been someone who's like, oh, I hit it super hard until I can't, and then I just fall over for a minute, and then I feel really shitty about it, and then repeat.
See, I'm a morning person, so I like wake up with all the energy to do everything, and then 4 o'clock hits, and I'm like, closing shop. Like, this is the point that I don't do anything anymore.
Do I need to get you a pillow?
Yes, please. And Stevie's exactly the opposite. She's like, she wakes up and she's like, don't even talk to me until coffee. And then come noon, she's like super productive. And then hit 4 o'clock and she's like, what are we doing? And I'm like, playing Fortnite? Like, I don't know. I'm lazy now. Especially living in the mountain town. I'm like, I'm snowboarding and then I'm going to sleep. That's my day.
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, very productive, you know? Self-preservation, like I was saying.
Don't do as I do. Do what I say in this situation.
Yeah.
I definitely tell people, like, you need to do and relax, and then I just don't.
Well, that's a very, I feel like that's a common issue. It's a common thing of our generation or of any generation, is being like, this is what you should do, and I'm not going to follow that regiment because I don't want to.
At points where, like, I don't have to, I don't know what to do with myself at times.
Yeah, I get that. Like I said, I took this like last month off, and like I'll wake up and be like, I guess I'm going snowboarding today. Like, what do I do when I'm not? Because I wake up, like I said, I wake up very productive, and I'll wake up 8 o'clock and be like, there's nothing on the schedule for today. I'm going to go snowboard and try and think that this is me being productive. Because I tell myself, I'm like, this is me working on cardio. This is me staying fit for work. And I'm like, no, it's not. This is me fucking snowboarding, bro. Like,
hey, whatever. You should do that. You should enjoy life.
And I'm trying my best. Honestly, that's one of the things that I love about this job is like, I feel like it gives me a lot of time to enjoy life. Like, I'm not, no hate to anyone working a 9 to 5, but like, I just couldn't do it, man. Like, I'm so spoiled. I just want to play all the time. Like, I just want to wake up, skateboard, and then snowboard, and then play video games and go to sleep. And somehow someone pays me throughout that day. But now I just wake up, snowboard, skateboard, have sex, play video games, go to sleep. And one of those things I get paid for. So it's not so bad.
Just step up your Fortnite game and you could get paid for that too.
Dude, I'm trying. I'm so bad. I'm a good sniper, but dude, these kids are sweaty these days. It's crazy.
Oh, I know. I played Fortnite for a minute. And it's like,
yeah. It's like, I think I'm good at games, and then I drop into a game, and I'm like, never mind. It's fine.
I used to make some really like silly Fortnite content for YouTube. It was just like the people I was playing with, none of us were particularly good. We just make stupid fucking like Fortnite videos.
Yeah. Dude, I've been seeing fucking Doja Cat playing a bunch of Fortnite recently. So entertaining. Because her and her friends will like land, and like rather than like looting guns, they'll just like all start emoting and be like, have you seen this dance? Like, have you done this? And it's like, dude, I wish I played less sweaty and had fun like that, but I'm always like, let's fucking get kills. And then I get killed and I'm trash, so.
What can you do? Can't compete with those teenage reflexes.
Dude, it's unreal. And it's the crazy thing. You look at the average age of an esport athlete now, and it's like 17. How? Because they're like so cognitive at that point that they're like, the only thing that they can process is the game. And it's like.
Right? And the cocaine doesn't burn them out.
Yeah, they're not at that point yet. I'm 3 years sober from coke, but I definitely feel that. That was when I first moved to California. That was like most of my life was like water the weed plants, do cocaine, play Counter-Strike, repeat. And then 3 years ago I quit, and now I feel better.
You gave off the performance enhancers.
Yeah. Yeah, I switched off the cocaine for the Viagra, and now I'm riddled. Dude, no, dead ass though. Like, I'll have moments that like, because I never take a full Viagra for work. It's just if it's like a harder day, I'll take half. And I will be like, halfway through the scene, I'm like, this kind of feels like cocaine. Because it's like a little bit of an amphetamine. So I'm like, nope, I don't enjoy this feeling. We're not enjoying this. We're going to pretend that this isn't happening right now. We're going to continue on. Everything's good. Everything's fine. We'll start snorting Viagra.
No, you got to boof it.
That's the way. That's the most effective way.
It is.
Sure.
It super is.
I can proudly say I've never boofed anything in my life.
Night's
and
not
if
over.
you knew me, the night is not over. But if you knew me, that's a feat. For real.
Yeah, we're going to pull your pubes and, boop.
That's how you open the butthole, is you got to pull the pubes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for boofing.
Yeah. These are my boof pubes. Another t-shirt, boof pubes. No reference to it, just the words. Like, are you boofing pubes? No. It's not that. More of a verb.
Right? Look, yeah, I hate to do it. We will do this again soon. I'm going to call last call on this motherfucker. We've been doing this for over 2 hours.
Holy shit, really?
Yes.
Yo, you're easy to talk to.
I'd hope so at this point.
This is great.
Well, good.
Because I'm not a social person. You've had me talking this whole time.
That is definitely the goal.
Yeah.
But before we stop you from talking, where can they find you on the things?
So social medias, you can find me Lucky Fate X on everything. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can also check out Mudsmoke on Instagram and mudsmoke.com for any of my artwork. I make ceramic stuff, including pipes, not exclusive to pipes, but lots of ceramic stuff. I'm a potter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing the show. And
dude, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll have you back in November for the Malort's Giving.
Oh, yes, please. Oh, are we going to take one of those? Or is that a separate thing?
That is a separate thing.
Oh, let's do it.
But we're going to do that. Until next week, drink up, motherfuckers.
Seriously. This has been awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.